more than 100,000 driver's licenses, and it collected more than $50 million in government revenue across a network of more than 30 locations, stretching from New Providence to the Family Islands. 370 dedicated officers serve the public in those offices day in and day out.
I'm Carissa Williamson, and this has been Your Government in Action, a proud presentation of Bahamas Information Services. Join us on Wednesday evenings where we bring you highlights, coverage, and information as we continue to do what we do best, linking people and government.
In Harbor Island, North Eleuthera, I'm Charles Fisher. This is ZNS.
It's What's Trending with Jimenita Swain and the Bahama Beauty at the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas from Studio A. It all starts right now.
Welcome to What's Trending. I'm Jimenita Swain. It's Wednesday, July 1st. Happy Flag Day, everyone. Tonight, we have another inspiring lineup of conversations from health and wellness to culture and the traditions that make us uniquely Bahamian. Let's take a look at what's coming up. She set out to become a surgeon, but a personal health battle changed the course of her career. Now she's helping thousands of women better understand a condition that often goes undiagnosed. Then, when you think of Bahamian music, one sound stands above the rest. Today, we're diving into the rhythm, the history, and the heart of Rake and Scrape with one of its rising voices. And to finish things off, Rake and Scrape is more than music. It's a part of who we are as Bahamians. We're sitting down with a woman who is making sure this beloved tradition isn't just remembered, but passed on to the next generation. We're just getting started. Don't go anywhere. What's Trending continues right after this.
Tourism today. Bahamas tourism today.
I often tell people going underwater is a bit like going into space. Every single time I drop into the water, I sort of have that feeling of weightlessness. I've never felt so graceful. What's great about Freeport is that we can have very new divers and very experienced divers on the same trip and please both of them.
Freeport is a really, really wonderful place to come diving. There may be individual things that are better someplace else, but those places only have that one thing. We've got wreck dives. We've got coral dives at all different depths. We've got dives with our Caribbean reef sharks.
It's the ultimate to have the apex predator just swimming right by you. They are amazing, beautiful creatures. Not something to be afraid of, but something to be revered and protected.
One of the things I'm always amazed about is how much people think they're going to be afraid of sharks until they're actually in the water looking at sharks. And instead of fear, almost everyone reports a sense of wonder.
From From aspiring surgeon to patient to one of the leading voices in PCOS education. Our next guest's journey through medicine took an unexpected turn when she began experiencing the very condition she would later help so many women understand.
Bahamian Footprints, presented by Coca-Cola.
While training in surgery and obstetrics and gynecology, she began to notice something in her patients that she was also quietly experiencing herself. Today, she's using both her medical training and her personal story to help women better understand and manage polycystic ovarian syndrome, better known as PCOS. Joining us now is Dr. Adenola Olaroon. Welcome to What's Trending, Dr. Olaroon.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's great to have you here with us. So let's start at the beginning. You said you were fascinated by transformation from a young age. Where did that interest come from, and how did it lead you into medicine?
Thank you so much. Well, initially, when I was just a very small child, my mother actually took me to a revival that was going on at a nearby church. And the prophetess told me that I had healing hands. So I spent much of my childhood trying to figure out what I was supposed to do with these hands of mine. By the time I got in the 8th grade, I fell in love with a television show called Dr. 90210. It aired on E! Right before Keeping Up with the Kardashians, that I was also very obsessed with at the time. So I would watch this show religiously just about every day, and that is when I started falling in love with plastic surgery. In the show, it was chronicled the journeys of women that hated their noses, hated their body shapes, and we would see their before and afters. And of course, you would think that I was more fascinated with the physical outcome of the surgery, but actually most of all, what stood out to me was the internal transformation that these external fixings would do for these women. They became more confident. They would talk about how they were better mothers and better partners after this transformation. And since then, I realized that I wanted to be a part of transformation for women.
Now, medicine is a demanding field. During your training, you experienced burnout and personal loss. How did that period shape you, both as a doctor and as a person?
Yes, it's not strange to experience burnout throughout your medical journey or just any life change in general, because it's such a long journey that something is bound to happen as you journey through medicine. For me, I lost my cousin, who was like a brother to me when I was in my 3rd year. And I was also doing my junior surgery rotations at that time. So I was depressed. I became burnt out. I still looked fine on the outside. I would get up every morning, put on my little white coat. But I realized that something was wrong when I could put on the garments, but I couldn't put on the motivation. I couldn't put on the heart to do it. So there was one time, a few times actually, where I would get dressed and I would just stand at my window in the dorms in Jamaica and just look out my window and watch the 6 o'clock bus pass and leave me to go on to downtown Kingston, where I was supposed to be headed as well. And that's when I realized that you could have on the white coat, you can have the accolades, but your heart also has to be there. And that's when I decided to take a leave of absence and take a step back and do some soul searching and internal healing myself.
So you eventually made the decision to step away from medical school for a time, as you discussed. And what did that pause teach you about yourself?
I learned so much about myself in that time. I took a lot of time with God. I really did nothing in that time. I had about 8 months for my leave of absence. And initially, I actually wanted to leave medical school, and my dean wouldn't let me because my grades were good. So she inserted it into the system as the leave of absence. So I had about 8 months to myself. I spent that time with God. I joined a local gym. I was in therapy as well. And I learned that my purpose was not about the accolade of becoming a physician, but being involved in the lives of my patients. I learned that my wellness internally was far more important than how many coats I could own or how fancy of a stethoscope I owned. But inner wellness, as well as the wellness of my patients, would be my purpose.
That's so connective. So around that same time, you started noticing symptoms you later recognized as PCOS. When did you begin to connect those dots medically?
It actually took me a very long time to connect the dots. And I've always had very great physicians myself. And it took us a long time to put the pieces together. Initially, I had issues with my cycles, my menstrual cycles. They were always irregular. And I thought that because they were always irregular, that was normal for me. So that was the first symptom that I experienced. Sometime after, the acne came or returned because I had teenage acne, but then now I had adult acne. And then I realized that when all of my friends went to the gym for a few months, they would look completely different. And me, I would do the same thing, as well as I have a mother who's a dietitian, so I always knew what to eat, but I still struggled with very stubborn belly fat specifically. So during the pandemic, when everyone was sitting at home becoming doctors online, I was in medical school actually becoming a doctor. And I was also online reading everything that everyone else was reading. And I was reading my textbooks and reading all these articles online. And I just realized, wait, I think they're talking about me. And eventually I reached out to my mentor, who is an internist, and I basically started harassing her about it. And I told her, hey, I think I have this PCOS thing. I have all these symptoms. This looks like me in this textbook. And so we spent a few months kind of going back and forth with the research and the way I presented. And eventually I received my diagnosis. So that was like a light bulb for me.
So tell me, from your experience, are there signs of PCOS that are often overlooked or misunderstood by women, you think?
Certainly, certainly. The symptoms can seem to be very unrelated to one another. So that is what gets you. So a lot of times you may have acne and not realize that it's related to PCOS. You may have this stubborn weight gain and realize that it's not, and don't realize that it's related to PCOS. Sometimes it's not until you start missing those periods that women would then present to clinic, or when they're trying to have a baby and they realize that they're struggling with conceiving, that is when they would come to clinic. But things like male pattern hair growth, hair on the face, hair on the chest, dark underarms, a dark neck, sometimes those things are overlooked.
And just let me just interject one quick question, because we want for someone watching right now who may be thinking based on the symptoms that you discussed, what would you want them to know first about PCOS, and what should the next steps be? Just quickly, 20 seconds.
Okay, so PCOS stands for polycystic ovarian syndrome. The name has actually recently changed to PMOS, polyendocrine metabolic ovarian syndrome, and it points more to the insulin insensitivity issue that women have. So to sum it all up, if you recognize that you have irregular periods, you need to go to your physician. If you recognize that you have stubborn weight gain or you are struggling to conceive, then you need to seek help. If you have dark underarms, hair growth in your face that you're not supposed to have as a woman, or darkening of your neck, you need to seek help with your physician for sure.
Well, Dr. Ullerin, thank you so much for sharing your journey so openly, for turning both your professional training and personal experience to us to help support other women. So thank you again.
Thank you for having me.
On the other side of the break, we're shifting our focus to culture. Stay with us.
Oh, isn't that nice? Wait, you missed it? You haven't been on the website. Here's how TDC can help you. Whether you're turning your home into a vacation rental, pitching a business idea, or growing what you've already started, the TDC is here to help. Visit tdcbahamas.com for every conversation, event, grant, and opportunity happening near you. Tourism is all of our business, and the TDC is here to support yours.
When the craving hits, there's only one thing everybody agrees on. Hot, crispy, Wendy's chicken tenders. Made to satisfy every bite. Whether it's served as a slider or wrap, it's always perfectly seasoned, perfectly crunchy, and always cooked fresh. From lunch with friends to family moments worth sharing. For chicken tenders you're gonna know by name, gotta be Wendy's.
So the storm has passed. Danger may still be near. Avoid downed power lines and flooded roads. Check on your neighbors, especially the elderly. Only travel if absolutely necessary. Report hazards and stay informed. Recovery begins with caution and care.
Heaven, I'm in heaven, and my heart beats so that I can hardly speak. Out together, dancing cheek to cheek.
I'm Jordan, by the way.
Tom.
As we count down to the Bahamas' 53rd independence, we're taking time to celebrate the people, the places, the culture, and the stories that define who we are as a nation. Over the next few days, we'll be shining a spotlight on the traditions that have shaped our identity, the achievements that make us proud, and the Bahamians who continue to leave their mark at home and around the world. Tonight, we begin our special Independence series.
Like oh, no place like oh, place like oh, there ain't no place like oh. I stand, tell me back my clothes, them by.
It's a sound that's uniquely Bahamian, one that's been passed down through generations and continues to bring people to their feet. From the goatskin drum to the accordion and the famous handsaw, rake and scrape is more than just music. It's a celebration of our history, our people, and of course, our culture. Today, we're exploring what gives this genre its soul and how the human voice becomes just as important as the instruments. Joining us is Bahamian artist Zenobia Pierre. Welcome back to What's Trending.
Hey, thank you for inviting me.
It's always a pleasure to have you here with us. So, for viewers who may not be familiar, how would you describe rake and scrape music in its purest form?
Jimmy, you basically just said it. You know, I recently was in Nigeria and I was trying to explain our music to them because Afrobeats is global now, and of course rake and scrape is not. And I said to them, just like your music, the drum is the heartbeat of the people. It's a celebration. It's our way to communicate. As soon as Bahamian hears a drum, you know, we start to move because that's in our soul. And then of course we have the scraper, which we know to be the saw.
Yes.
In recent years, they've been using the gyro, which is really Latin in nature, but we use the carpenter saw, and they used a knife or a screwdriver or something to give that and you know, when you get that, you know, your body just automatically starts to move, you know. And then of course, from our colonial influences and influencers, here came the mouth organ, like Bohog and Rooters them would say, or the concertina, which would be the, you know, the accordion. And so rake and scrape in its purest form represents the Bahamian people with celebration, communication, basically our heart and soul that's in that music. It's just you know,
It's
our
life
ancestors that
in
makes
itself.
us move when we hear it, you know.
So then, when you bring the voice into that, what role does it then play in this Rake and Scrape, the symphony of sound and music?
Well, you know, the voice brings it together with the melody and telling the story. When we think about vocal genres in Rake and Scrape, like the call and response, when you hear songs like Peter, lay it down, oh, lay it down, and then the audience answers, lay it down on the right-hand side. You know, so it brings communal in, it brings community in, it brings social in, it brings the story of the people, story of the ancestors, it brings the story of the people in.
So do you feel that the younger generations fully understand the musical complexity behind the genre?
You know, I teach at UB. You know, I was in the classroom for many years. And sometimes when you ask the younger people, you know, so what's your favorite genre of music? And they'll tell you, oh, rap and reggae and all this stuff and whatnot. And, you know, I'm there saying, I'm not here to change your minds, you know. I'm here to give you an appreciation of what this is. I'm here to give you an appreciation of to know that this is what represents us. When we go on that global stage, we want them to say, oh yeah, that's a Bahamian sound. Now, Rake and Scrape fights with Junkanoo when it should not, but we know that Junkanoo is our primary, and I don't even like saying that, but it's our primary focus when we talk about music and culture of the Bahamas. But Rake and Scrape is the celebration music of the people. Junkanoo is the parade and, you know, and the show-off.
So we bring all of that together.
Yeah.
But for you personally, what does it mean to carry this sound forward as a Bahamian artist?
I'm always gonna do it. I'm always gonna do it. It's in my soul. It's my mantra to take it to the world. Doing collaborations. Like I said, with traveling and whatnot, my thing is to keep it alive in whatever aspect that I possibly can. I'm not trying to discourage anybody from doing reggae or soca or any of that stuff, but we can do fusions. Visage did it wonderfully with Ololo.
So just make it happen.
Yeah.
Well, Zenobia, thank you so much for sharing your insight into the musical heartbeat of Rake and Scrape. And it's clear that beyond the rhythm and the energy, there's also a deep connection between your voice, culture, and of course, identity that continues to keep this form alive.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Happy Independence, everybody.
When we come back, our conversation continues with another guest who is helping to preserve and share the rich history and love of Rake and Scrape. Stay with us.
Marco's Pizza. Marco's Pizza. Some never tasted so good. Marco's Summer Party is bringing the fun. Choose 2 large one-topping pizzas with a 2-liter soda for just $34.95. Or grab a big square deal, 1 medium, 1-topping pizzas with boneless wings for just $39.95. Enter to win weekly Baja Bay water passes and your very own Marco's Summer Party pack all summer long. Marco's Pizza. Summer never tasted so good.
I don't know, but there's all kind of cars in this parking lot. You ain't even know where to park. Yeah, just don't park in the. Look at this way. Like, you ain't get nowhere to go. Don't park him. Just don't park in the handicap spot. Yeah, that's handicap. No, man, you can't park in the handicap spot. I ain't gonna be that long. I ain't gonna be that long. Handicap spot, boy, what's going on, dog? I tell you we shouldn't park here now. This way park here, bro. I tell you we shouldn't park here. Don't get one of these things. My bad, big bro. And he got a sticker inside that say this model. We gotta move. This is a handicap spot. That's what we gotta move. But we gotta move. Don't. We can move right now. Sorry.
Be considerate. Don't use disabled parking spaces without a decal in your vehicle. This message is brought to you by the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities.
And my heart beats so that I can hardly speak. Out together, dancing cheek to cheek.
I'm Jordan, by the way. Tom.
Never swim alone. Don't go deep into the pool. Don't run around the pool because you might slip and get hurt. If someone else falls into the water, don't go in and get them by yourself. Call for help. Parents, sign up your children for Let's Swim Bahamas.
Rake and Scrape has been the soundtrack to Bahamian life for generations, but keeping that tradition alive takes more than great musicians. It takes passion, commitment, and people who believe our culture is worth preserving. Our next guest has made it a mission to do just that. Through community initiatives, live performances, and hands-on music education, she is helping young Bahamians discover the rhythms that have shaped our identity. Welcome cultural advocate Diana Hamilton virtually to What's Trending. Hello, Diana.
Hi. Thank you for having me.
So let's start with your story. What first sparked your love for Rake and Scrape, and what inspired you to dedicate so much of your life to preserving it?
Okay, so it would have started when I was in France, and I had an incredible meeting with a lady who, as a child, listened to music, Joseph Spence. She was in Czechoslovakia, was communist, and only folklore. And she heard our music and she had a passion for it. And she wanted to do a radio show with a Bahamian. I happened to be at a going away party where there was a journalist friend of hers who said, "You're a Bahamian, there's somebody that would like to do a show. Would you like to meet her?" I met her and we did a show on national radio. After that show, we came up with the idea that, well, is this music alive? She said, "You're talking to me about this music that you heard growing up, but does it still exist?" And so the idea to come to the Bahamas with a team of cameraman and technicians. Kayla Edwards was at the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture at the time. We reached out to her. She was able to connect us with different artists. And the Smithsonian had been here, and they had validated, our music. So it was just a question of choosing which island. So we went to Andres for the Joseph Spence connection, Cat Island for the Rake and Scrape and the Cat Island Mites and everything, and Nassau and San Salvador, because that's where I grew up partly as a child.
So you often,
and the storytelling.
Now, you often say that this music belongs to all of us. Why do you think it's important that young Bahamians are introduced to Rake and Scrape from an early age?
Because this is how you transmit. We have two very, very high-level artists from Italy this year. And we were talking, and we were saying that in every country, the traditional music right now is having the same effect. Like, how do we get the younger generation interested? So what happened at our camp this year was he was teaching the children chords on the instrument, because let me just say in passing that our ancestors weren't interested in the intricacies of the accordion. They used it to sing, and it was their voice that carried the melodies, okay, and the saw in the drum. So that really what the accordion could do was hardly anything they were interested in technically. So what's happening is that the accordion is an instrument. It is itself, and it plays melodies. So what he did was introduce them to pop chords that could slide right in with our traditional music, and he said it would start to attract young people. This is what's happening in Italy and elsewhere, faced with the same problem.
So quickly, I know that you have the last dance coming up. If you could tie that into the camp.
Yes. So the last dance is the culmination of the camp. There's no point in reviving the accordion and the traditional music if we don't dance to it, because dancing is important. And this again came up. We dance a lot at camp. And I think that it's an invitation to Bahamians to dance together again. Community dancing, it is essential for a community's well-being and connection, and really.
So we live in a world where so much of what young people consume comes from overseas. How do you keep Rake and Scrape relevant and exciting in today's entertainment landscape?
Well, what I often say is that our ancestors were scattered all over as slaves, and they interchange. Like you'd hear a bit of blues in Spence, a bit of jazz in Simonet. It wasn't a problem.
I'm sorry,
because there was a definite
Diana, I think that is definitely our time. I am so sorry, but I have to cut you there. But thank you for the incredible work you're doing to preserve one of the Bahamas' greatest cultural treasures. So thanks so much. There's more What's Trending after the break.
Over 3 million shipwrecks on the ocean floor, just waiting to be found. Nothing is truly ever lost at sea, only hidden by time and sand. When I put this fleet together, it wasn't just for fun. And although we do have fun, we never lose sight of our goal. Right here, right now, we are on a mission.
So on Thursday's show, we'll definitely have more on our independent segment. And that's a wrap for What's Trending. Thanks for watching. Follow us on Instagram at What's Trending on ZNS, and we'll see you tomorrow at 6 p.m. Until then, stay connected.
At the Lyndon Bindling International Airport, I'm Corvell Pyfrom. This is ZNS.
This is the Bahamas Tonight. The Northern Edition has a look at stories making news tonight. Minister for Grand Bahama highlights the island's transformation during her contribution to the speech from the throne. Police are searching for 3 individuals wanted in connection for separate criminal matters. And the Grand Bahama marks National Flag Day with a ceremonial flag raising ahead of independence celebrations.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thanks so much for joining us. Topping news tonight, after years of economic uncertainty, devastating hurricanes, and stalled development, the government says Grand Bahama is entering a new era. During her contribution to the Governor General's speech from the throne in the House of Assembly, Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Ginger Moxie, outlining what she described as the island's remarkable transformation. We have the details in tonight's top story.
The Member of Parliament for Pine Ridge, I am especially encouraged by
Moxie outlining what she described
the government's unwavering commitment to Grand Bahama Island.
Refusing to accept decline as Grand Bahama's destiny. That's the message from Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Ginger Moxie, who says the Davis administration has chosen to tackle long-standing challenges head-on, replacing years of stagnation with investment, innovation, and the resolution of legacy issues that she says have hindered the island's growth for decades.
Across our island, we are witnessing unprecedented investment activity. The development of the MSC cruise port, the continued expansion of Celebration Key, the Royal Caribbean Xanadu Beach project, the Grand Bahama Shipyard redevelopment, the Innovate 242 incubator, the Afro-Caribbean Marketplace and Logistics Center, the reopening of West Sunrise Highway, the redevelopment of the Grand Lucayan Hotel, the construction of modernized healthcare facilities, including the Freeport Health Campus and Doctors Hospital, just to name a few.
The minister pointing to several major projects representing billions of dollars in investment and thousands of potential job opportunities for Bahamians. She also referenced a recent meeting with Grand Bahama business owners who reported having positions available but not enough people to fill them, a development she described as a positive sign of the island's economic momentum.
It was a very different conversation from the one Grand Bahama was having a few years ago.
The comment prompted the Member of Parliament from Marco City to seek clarification, noting that residents in his constituency and others are still searching for employment. The Minister of Labour and Public Service then responded to the concerns.
All of us, Madam Speaker, have a list of persons who are unemployed.
Jobs are available throughout the country, so we don't even need to rely on a particular Member of Parliament. All citizens need to do is register in the portal, no matter where they are located in the world, and job opportunities are available where they will be placed based on their qualifications. Additionally, we have programs such as the National Apprenticeship Program, the National Youth Guard, Upskill Bahamas, DigiLearn. We have an ecosystem at Opportunity Hub where there's National Training Agency, where there's opportunities not only to gain employment but to earn while you learn through these type of opportunities. I think the government has done an excellent job of providing opportunities where there is a skill set gap.
Minister Moxie then turned her attention to other key priorities, including housing, healthcare through the Freeport Health Campus, and education. She also highlighted the government's commitment to strengthening workers' rights and advancing energy reform.
Grand Bahamians have carried high energy costs for far too long. And now, with the government's energy reform agenda moving forward, residents and businesses are beginning to feel relief.
Well, meantime, the Minister of Tourism, the Honorable Glenys Hannah Martin, says the Prime Minister's bold moves are addressing structural inequalities in Grand Bahama. Speaking at the PLP's Grand Bahama Women's Branch meeting, she pointed to the acquisition of the power company and arbitration with the Port Authority as steps to fully integrate the island into the Bahamas. She added that redeveloping an airport, hotel, and cruise ports will require the full cooperation of citizens.
The bold moves by the PM touch at the heart of the structural inequities in Grand Bahama, the Grand Bahama Port Authority, the Grand Bahama Power Company, and more as we seek to integrate Grand Bahama fully into the wider Bahamas network. Grand Bahama was and is a jewel. And as we accelerate efforts to redevelop the airport, to develop the former Alukaya property, and seek to procure enhanced island-wide impact of the cruise industry, the full cooperation of our people, and the help of God Almighty, I pray that we will see a tourism industry which intensifies our national pride.
Minister Hannah Martin also says the country must address tourist concerns about the tourism product by pooling intellectual resources. She stressed that the product is the people and the culture.
We intend to pool the intellectual resources in the industry, both in-house and in the private sector. Rest this chronic refrain we're hearing about the product in this country. This is an issue which shows up consistently in our exit surveys with tourists. They talk about the product. Disappointing. I had the occasion to assert in Parliament recently, the product is us, our people, our history, our food, our music, our rhythms on the dance floors.
While July 10th marks the 53rd anniversary of Bahamian independence and celebrations are already taking shape across the country, in Grand Bahama, the annual national flag-raising ceremony officially launched this year's observances with messages of national pride, resilience, and progress. Our Sherelle Dames has that report.
The countdown to independence is underway, and in Grand Bahama, the celebrations begin with a proud display of patriotism. Government officials, uniformed branches, and residents gathered for the annual national flag-raising ceremony, embracing this year's theme, celebrating our heritage, shaping our tomorrow.
With faith and purpose, we will stand to shape tomorrow hand in hand, and proudly let the world see that the spirit of the Bahamas remains strong and true.
We have looked into the eyes of a Category 5 storm and refused to concede. We have watched our economy shift, and instead of breaking, we pivoted. That is the Grand Bahama spirit. We do not just survive the trial, we master the recovery. Give it up to all of you for mastering the recovery.
Executive Officer in the Ministry for Grand Bahama, Perez Roll, noting the celebration should also serve as a call to action, encouraging Bahamians to continue building a country that offers greater opportunity for future generations.
Even as we celebrate where we have come from, we must also look ahead with purpose. Shaping our tomorrow requires unity, vision, discipline, and a renewed commitment to building a better Bahamas where opportunity is shared, where our young people are inspired, and where our communities are strengthened, and where progress is felt by all.
Closing remarks by Permanent Secretary in the Ministry for Grand Bahama, Joel Lewis, reminding those attending that the work of the nation building extends beyond government, saying every Bahamian has a role to play in preserving the country's legacy and helping shape its future.
We are the true fabric of this nation. As we celebrate our heritage today, let us leave this place fiercely committed to shaping a tomorrow that is worthy of the banner we so proudly wave.
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Sherelle Dames.
Now heading into news from the crime beat, police have issued wanted posters for Marsha Cooper and Adriana Gilbert, who they say are wanted in connection with an alleged rent-to-own housing fraud scheme. Officials in Grand Bahama say 54-year-old Marsha Marceletta Cooper of Gambier Point, East Grand Bahama, is wanted by the Criminal Investigation Department for fraud by false pretenses. She is described as having a fair to light brown complexion, an average build, and speaking with a Bahamian accent. Meantime, police are also searching for 58-year-old Adriana Gilbert of number 9 Schooner Close, who is also wanted for fraud by false pretenses. She is described as having a medium brown complexion, standing 5 feet 5 inches tall, with an average build, and weighing between 150 and 160 pounds. If you spot either of these women, police advise members of the public to approach with caution and contact the Criminal Investigation Department at 350-3106 or call 911. Meanwhile, officers at the Criminal Investigation Department need to question Dylan Williams of number 178 Dogfish Street, apartment number 2, in connection with possession of unlicensed firearm. Williams is 31 years old and is of dark brown complexion, stands 5 feet 6 inches tall, medium build. Police say if you spot him, contact police at Criminal Investigations Department at 350-3106 or 911, police emergency at 919, Crime Stoppers at 328-TIPS or 328-8477, Family Island 242-300-8477.
And still to come.
Food lovers flock to the 3rd Annual Food Truck Festival for a taste of some of the island's best cuisine. And that story, sports, and more when we come back.
There are some things that are undeniably Bahamian. A good count salad, junkanoo, the way we worship, the way we take care of one another, all undeniably Bahamian. And right in the midst of our iconic things, places, and people is Commonwealth Bank. Increasing access, sponsoring dreams, working alongside Bahamians to increase the quality of their lives for more than 60 years. Commonwealth Bank, nothing more than being Bahamian. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Come on down and see what Dolly Madison has in store for you. Renovate and rejuvenate at Dolly Madison.
Dolly Madison.
Fresh oil, fresh fire. Join the School of Prophetic Ministry Hawksville for 2 Holy Ghost-filled nights of crusade, July 13th and 14th, 2026 at 7:30 nightly. Guest speaker will be Bishop Steve Daniels of Shallow Missionary Baptist Church, Minnesota. Fresh oil, fresh fire crusade, July 13th and 14th at the School of Prophetic Ministry. See you there.
Save more drugs. We got you. From cosmetics to prosthetics
What you need for your family, the brands you're looking for, the quality you expect, the prices you need and deserve. Feel the love. Save more at Save More Drugs.
The Welcoming Home Week of Events presented by the Ministry for Grand Bahama kicks off on Wednesday, July 1st with the Down Home Fish Fry DJ Showcase Bahamian Edition. It all takes place at Rodriguez in Smith Point. Come out and enjoy Bahamian food and music by Tico T, DJ Future, DJ Freeze, and Just Ride Benji. Showcase starts at 8 p.m.
CompuSec Printing is making room for summer with a massive store-wide sale. Get 30% off in stock items only now through July 31st. Save on shirts, hats, souvenirs, flags, indoor flagpoles, and more. Visit CompuSec Printing, West Atlantic Drive, Freeport. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, and Saturdays, 9 to 2. Calling all GBCHS and MSSCA Crusaders. Get ready for the 60th Jubilee Reunion, July 10th through the 12th. Reconnect, celebrate, and relive the legacy. Crusaders never say die. Excellence, honor, and truth. Faith, brotherhood, and pride.
Hey, I'm a big deal. I'm a 19-foot Panga boat fishing package, complete with engine, trailer, and accessories. So pull up, hook up, and drop me in the ocean, and let's work. Just in time for lobster season.
Cabinets play a major role in both the function and appearance of your home. To keep them looking their best, wipe spills as soon as they happen and clean surfaces regularly using a soft cloth and mild soap. Avoid hanging excessive weight on cabinet doors and periodically check hinges and hardware to make sure everything stays secure. With proper care, quality cabinetry can continue looking beautiful and performing well for many years to come. Quality products deserve quality care. Cornet Bahamas.
Every year, hurricane season returns.
The water started coming, the generator, everything started just moving. The noise was ferocious where things was just collapsing as the water took it in a matter of seconds. And then I heard this banging to the ceiling, and it was my neighbor. She said, hey, you wake, water coming in.
One storm can change everything.
Now we in trouble. Abaco is over. We can't do, the power plant is gone. There's no food stores, there's no water, nothing.
The question isn't if another storm will come. The question is, will you be prepared when it does?
Plan for the worst and pray for the best.
Before the storm.
Your number one team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
Welcome back. Food lovers gathering for the 3rd annual Food Truck Festival, showcasing a wide variety of uniquely twisted cuisines and along with upbeat, friendly entertainment. Our Matthew Martinborough was there and filed the details in this report.
Fantastically made cuisines along with entertaining performances. The spotlights shine brightly at the 3rd annual Food Truck Festival at Taino Beach, with the wide array of over a dozen available food trucks showcasing and selling their unique spins on culinary dishes and delicious summer treats. Attendees say the event, as well as its vendors, provided a time worthwhile.
I mean, the food is shockingly well. I actually didn't know that all these food trucks is on the island. So I think it's actually a really good thing, not only for the food trucks, but also for us Bahamians.
Man, I'm feeling good. This is a great outing for a Saturday evening. Wonderful.
It's very nice. It's very exciting. I love being able to have food options because that's all I'm here for. I'm only here for the food, but it's a very good environment. I love the music and everything about it.
And for the vendors themselves, they say the Food Truck Festival provides a great business boost, encouraging fellow culinary entrepreneurs to take advantage of the opportunity.
Most definitely. I think it will. I think by them advertising themselves to the public, they'll know what they're getting. They'll look expected of them, and they can advance themselves more for everyone.
The opportunity is endless. It's endless because we have the space out here for it, and we just bring it on to have this festival going on where everybody can enjoy it.
Well, I think it's going to help a whole lot. I was quite excited to know we're going to have something just for food trucks in Grand Bahama. I'm sure we're going to work out very well at day's end.
Now, whether you're an aspiring entrepreneur in the food industry or someone looking for a family-friendly atmosphere with great entertainment and even better food, next year's edition of the Food Truck Festival is one you do not want to miss. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Matthew Martinborough.
Well, I certainly won't miss next year's edition. Mary Star of the Sea Catholic Academy, formerly known as Catholic High, is calling all Crusaders for a major reunion. Alumni are celebrating 60 years this weekend with 3 days of events as teachers and alumni travel home from across the country and abroad for the Diamond Jubilee. Celebrations begin starting July 10th with a meet and greet at the Port Lakaya Marketplace, followed by a prayer service and motorcade rollout at 8:15 a.m. on Saturday morning and a fair Saturday night, along with other prizes and surprises.
We have actually located graduates from the very first class at Catholic High School who are going to be present at this reunion celebration. We've also gotten confirmation from graduates for this year that are going to be part of the graduation. We even made efforts to contact one of the very first teachers, which was a nun, and she's currently 92 years old, and we have found her. This is a fundraiser, so we want to stress that. So we want you to come out. We want you to buy the commemorative materials. We want you to support the event. We want you to be a part of what Grand Bahama Catholic High has meant to this community and to the island of Grand Bahama.
Organizers say it's a summer of legacy for the Crusaders. They are encouraging all alumni, old and young, to take part. And here's how you can register.
You can register right now by going to the Grand Bahama Catholic High School alumni Facebook page. Click into the link. Even if you want to make your registration fee in person, you can see one of our very own alumni, Rose Delancey at Cates & Co., right there on East Mall Drive. And she can take your money for you, and you'll be registered automatically.
Chio Adderley, you are our Facebook friend of the day. Thank you so much for your support, and we hope that you're having a great one. And that is a look at stories making news, but don't go away. Shane Stubbs has your check on sports coming your way next.
Journey to a serene oasis. Relax. Rejuvenate. Renew. Welcome to Renew Day Spa. For appointments, call 352-RENU.
Hey, what are you doing?
I'm self-insuring my investments, starting with this tarp.
We all remember the blue tarps after the storm. Let's make sure that we are covered with more than a tarp. Don't allow your investment to be at risk. Protect your investment with one of our insurance policies.
Nobody does it better. See news in the making? Call us at 352-9713 or 359-5167, or you can email us at ZNS3news@gmail.com.
Saturday, July 4th, downtown Freeport comes alive with the Welcoming Home Grand Bahama Cultural Festival presented by the Ministry for Grand Bahama. Performances by the UB North Wing Pop Band, Shine 242, Avi, Mama D, Recon Bahamas, Sherrod Taylor, and Wilfred Solomon. Show starts at 7 p.m.
Save more drugs, from cosmetics to prosthetics. What you need for your family, the brands you're looking for, the quality you expect, vitamins you need, and prescriptions you gain. Feel the love. Save more at Save More Drugs.
It is my great pleasure to welcome you all to our first Hardware and Home Expo.
CIBC Caribbean is here. We're happy to be a sponsor of this event, and of course, we're looking forward to year number 2.
We just want to introduce the community to our new product and service, Arctic Solutions.
We are Acacia Groves, and the parent company is San Jose Construction.
So we're just here for persons who want some sort of legal advice.
to the ZNS Total Sports Cave, everyone. I'm Shane Stubbs. Top-notch performance is on the grounds looking for the next breakout baseball star, and the hunt will continue July 6th to the 23rd during their upcoming training camp.
We want to target the younger kids, man. Teach them the fundamentals of the game, how to hit, throw, the basics, because that's where the game starts. From seeing most of the kids, they lack basic fundamentals, and that's kind of the area we want to target for the camp. The age limit, we start at 8. We try to do 8 to 14, try to target that age group. To register, you can just come and we have registration forms for you to fill out. So we get your basic information and email and contact, As far as registration, it's $75 for the week.
Even in softball, Coach Donovan Cox believes the talent pool is deep, indicated by the 20-plus young ladies who will put their skills on full display at the Show All-Star Festival in New Providence, July 1st to the 5th, where 150-plus prospects will be under the watchful eyes of multiple college coaches.
From I started doing this, I've had kids went to college, kids went pro. I've actually just had 3 girls got a scholarship to go into softball since I've started training them. From what I see in Grand Bahama, I'm really excited for the talent that's going to be on display over there in Nassau. The girls, they're tough, man. They love the game, they work hard, and I think that softball in the Bahamas is really growing.
Switching over to Grand Bahama Amateur Softball Association action. In co-ed action, the GBPA regulators shut the party down for the Born to Party Animals. They got the W 12-1. In corporate play, the Police Force, Royals, and Customs Heavy Hitters was a slugfest, but the Royals locked up the win 11-9. In the men's division, the Ira boys showed no mercy versus the Hitmen. They rolled to a 20-0 victory, and the CLA Heavy Hitters got by the Infinity Crime Sluggers 16-4. And the New York Liberty struck gold as this year's Commissioner's Cup champion on Tuesday evening. The Liberty got the job done 93-85 versus the Las Vegas Aces. Jones had a near double-double, contributing with 9 points and 9 boards in the win while protecting the paint with 2 blocks. They've got a short time to celebrate before they welcome the Minnesota Lynx to the Barclays Center on July 3rd. And that's my time, everyone, but your local forecast is next. I'm Shane Stubbs. It's a new month with new blessings, so make them count.
Tonight's weather forecast is brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
'Cause it's so beautiful.
At Save More Drugs, we got you. We got what you want. We got what you need. We got what you came for. The quality you expect. The prices you need and deserve. Save more at Save More Drugs.
Fresh oil, fresh fire. Join the School of Prophetic Ministry Hawksville for 2 Holy Ghost-filled nights of crusade, July 13 and 14, 2026 at 7:30 nightly. Guest speaker will be Bishop Steve Daniels of Shallow Missionary Baptist Church, Minnesota. Fresh oil, fresh fire crusade, July 13th and 14th at the School of Prophetic Ministry. See you there.
Hey, what are you doing?
I'm self-insuring my investments, starting with this tarp.
We all remember the blue tarps after the storm. Let's make sure that we are covered with more than a tarp. Don't allow your investment to be at risk. Protect your investment with one of our insurance policies.
Nobody does it better.
Every year, hurricane season returns.
The water started coming, the generator, everything started just moving. The noise was ferocious, where things was just collapsing as the water took it in a matter of seconds. And then I heard this banging to the ceiling. That was my neighbor. She said, hey, you wake, water coming in.
One storm can change everything.
Now we in trouble. Abaco is over. We can't do, the power plant is gone. There's no food stores, there's no water, nothing.
The question isn't if another storm will come. The question is, will you be prepared when it does?
Plan for the worst and pray for the best.
Before the storm.
Use a bin to put it in.
Let's keep it clean.
Yeah. Put it in the trash, my guy. Not on the ground, not on the beach, not in the bush, not in the street. No, yeah. Just put it in the trash, my guy. Not on the ground, not on the beach, not in the bush, not on the streets. Just put it in the trash, my guy.
bombastic side-eye, criminal offensive side-eye.
Put it in the trash. Put it in the trash. That's it, that's it. Put it in the trash. Just put it in the trash. That's it, that's it. Just put it in the trash, my guy. Not on the ground, not on the beach, not in the bush, not in the street. Just put it in the trash, my guy. Yeah. Just put it in the trash, my guy. Yeah. We just gotta keep Grand Bahama clean.
Your number one team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
And that is going to do it for us here in the North. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thanks so much for tuning in. The Bahamas Tonight is coming your way next.
At the 66 Steps, I'm Matea Cunningham. This is ZNS.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, a vigil tonight at the scene of Sunday's deadly crash here in the capital. Plus, the Attorney General shares his views about making the Sexual Offenders Registry public. And the Nassau Cruise Board locks in strong numbers amid slow season. The Bahamas tonight, the National Report starts now. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the broadcast. 3 days post the tragedy, grieving relatives of one of Sunday's crash victims have tonight returned to the scene to remember a young woman whose life was snuffed out. Leah Cooper is down there on Shirley and Church Streets. Leah, what can you tell us?
Good evening, Makushla. I'm here on Church and Shirley Street, where this was the backdrop to Sunday's fatal car crash, which claimed the lives of 4 young ladies. Tonight, the family of 19-year-old Stania Webb is behind me at the crash site, hosting a candlelight vigil. You can see behind me that they're singing hymns. They're gathered around, some with balloons, some with roses, all to pay their respects to their departed loved one. It's truly a tragic event taking place here now. Right now, they are pausing for a word of prayer. And as this vigil is taking place, there's also one taking place on Cat Island to pay respects to the victims that are native to that island. We will be here for this entire event to cover all of the details. But for now, I'm Leah Cooper reporting live from the Church Street Plaza, sending it back to you at the desk, Makushla.
Well, thanks, Leah. Now, a school community devastated after Sunday's deadly weekend collision that claimed the lives of not one, but 2 of its former female students. One of them, the recent graduating class valedictorian who scored a full-ride scholarship to Florida Memorial University, along with several partial scholarships, while another had already begun her college journey. Cleopatra Murphy has reaction from their former principal.
She was one of 4 teenage girls killed in a horrific crash along Shirley Street early Sunday morning, and like 19-year-old Evelina Johnson, 19-year-old Stania Webb, and 18-year-old Patricia Brown, Diamond Stubbs, the youngest of the group at just 17, saw her light snuffed out far too soon. Still reeling from the loss of a star student she knew from 7th grade, who graduated just weeks ago at the top of her class and walked away with most of the awards, Old Bight High School Principal Benique Brown Pratt recalls the diamond she knew.
Diamond was exactly what her name was. She was a diamond, she was a gem, and she was very quiet, very gentle, very friendly, very ambitious. And whenever I asked her to represent the school in any way, she never told me no. She always represented Old Bight High School with grace.
She says the teen, who will now never have the chance to reach her true potential, was set to start her college career shortly. Brown Pratt says Diamond, who was active in her church and the Cat Island community, also a member of the local band, has left a void that will be difficult to fill among her graduating class of 12 and the wider school community.
They saw her as a leader because they fed off her energy. She was very positive and she really encouraged them for everything because they needed the motivation, and Diamond was the one that did it for them.
She remembers another alumna of the school, Stania Webb, already pursuing tertiary education, as having identical traits.
Similar personality to Diamond, very quiet, very ambitious, excellent in performing arts and music. Excellent student.
As the school family struggles to come to grips with the tragedy that has gripped the entire nation, the educator says officials have set up several counseling sessions for students and staff. She says the duo are more than how they died.
Remember them for the positivity that they had on the campus. When you saw them before you heard them. They weren't loud, they weren't boisterous. They were humble girls who were ambitious and they wanted to secure their futures.
For the parents of those that perished, Brown Pratt is encouraging them to pray. The 19-year-old male driver, along with other survivors, remained in hospital at last report, with police on Sunday listing a 25-year-old male in critical condition. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Cleopatra Murphy.
Thanks, Leo. Meantime, Attorney General Senator the Honorable Wayne Munro addressing Sunday's crash and where its investigation might lead. More specifically, whether the 19-year-old male driver might face possible charges. Mr. Munro telling reporters at this stage of the investigation, nothing's off the table.
Anytime there is an unnatural death, and what happened at that instance would amount to that. Unless there is a charge that emanates from it, there's bound to be at least a coroner's inquest. But out of the fatal traffic accidents, you sometimes get killing in the course of dangerous or reckless driving charges arising out of them.
The Attorney General cautions against speculation and reminds that there are laws that govern road safety in the Bahamas.
Anytime there's a fatal crash, there's a consideration, if there are fatalities, to whether there will be charges. For that matter, anytime there is an accident, there's a consideration of whether there are charges for as simple as careless driving, driving without due care and attention.
Also making news, the Attorney General is tonight weighing in on the debate over whether the National Sexual Offenders Registry should be made available to the public. The issue thrown in the public fore amid growing concerns more needs to be done to protect against repeat offenders. For those who may be in favor of the registry being public, Corval Pyfrom reports the Attorney General's stance does little to satisfy them.
Attorney General Senator the Honorable Wayne Munro, KC, seems to hold the same view about making public the National Sex Offenders Register as Crisis Center founder Dr. Sandra Dean Patterson and others who have gone on record to state their opposition to calls for such a move.
They want it for on an island 21/7. They would like to know where they live. The example I keep giving is Kofi Goodman. Lived in Cable Beach. He abducted Marco Archer from Bain and Grantstown. What value of it would have been for Marco Archer's parents in Bain and Grantstown to know that there was a sexual offender living in Cable Beach?
The Sex Offenders Register is an internal law enforcement database managed jointly by the Royal Bahamas Police Force and the Bahamas Department of Correctional Services. It is not open to the general public, unlike in larger jurisdictions, mainly out of concerns that it could, as Dean Patterson suggests, fuel vigilantism. That argument hasn't sat well with the public, but talking to reporters on the sidelines of an event at BDOC's Wednesday, AG Munro seemed to double down on that position.
And the one thing that people overlook that Dr. Patterson is quite clear about, the first time you have a retaliation, then no judge will put anyone on the register. So I ask again, what is the purpose for getting the information.
A spike in the number of cases of sexual violence against women and children, and most recently, an elderly woman, have reignited the public's furor and calls for tougher measures to ward off these kinds of assaults. While the creation of a national registry for tracking, monitoring, and compliance of offenders has widely been welcomed, some still think by keeping the information from the public, it just doesn't go far enough to protect potential victims. Mr. Monroe disagrees, while arguing the law goes far enough.
There's a very high penalty now for sexual offenses. The persons who determine what sentence is awarded is the judge. If the prosecution feels that it's too lenient, they can appeal it to the Court of Appeal all the way to Privy Council. If the person's sentence feels it's too harsh, they can appeal it to the Court of Appeal and the Privy Council.
No politician or legislature, Monroe maintains, can determine what sentence an offender gets. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Corval Plyford.
Coming up, strong numbers at the Nassau Cruise Port. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. More news in a moment.
There are some things that are undeniably Bahamian. A good count salad, junkanoo, the way we worship, the way we take care of one another, all undeniably Bahamian. And right in the midst of our iconic things, places, and people is Commonwealth Bank. Increasing access, sponsoring dreams, working alongside Bahamians to increase the quality of their lives for more than 60 years. Commonwealth Bank, nothing more than being Bahamian. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
The week moves fast. Move smart with KFC. Monday, start with crunchy deals. Tuesday, you already know, it's crazy. Wednesday, don't break the 20. Thursday, grab the Rap Star for $8.95. Friday, you made it. Grab the Crunchy Deals Value Box for $9.95. Saturday night, we got you covered. And Sunday, no stoves today. The fill-up box feeds the family. Outsmart the week with KFC.
Welcome back to another episode of The Movement. For generations, Potter's Key Dock has powered livelihoods without ever being powered itself. This historic marine hub has operated through ingenuity, resilience, and makeshift solutions. But today, it stands on the threshold of transformation. Well, the groundwork has officially started to electrify the Potter's Key Dock for the very first time in our nation's history. And the Ministry of Energy is calling the project a major step in modernization and sustainability. The Ministry of Energy is now laying the groundwork to electrify the dock for the very first time. And leading the charge is Energy Minister JoBeth Colby Davis, who toured the site meeting with vendors whose daily lives stand to benefit from this long-awaited upgrade.
I think all the vendors are grateful for it because we use sometimes 4 or 5 generators a year. And we say thank you to the minister.
So today, this project means access to reliable and sustainable power to continue to grow their businesses.
The electrification project is being led by the Ministry of Energy, working alongside Bahamas Power and Light, the Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources, and the Ministry of Works. This new system will introduce lowering operational costs and environmental impact over time.
Each individual stall will have their own dedicated meter. We are also installing spare infrastructure for the next 20, 30, even 40 years.
The Ministry of Energy is so proud to be at the forefront of this national and historic initiative, and we invite everyone to celebrate the electrification of Potter's Key Dock.
Now, vendors say that more reliable electricity changes everything. But of course, the Ministry of Energy says that this project is just a part of a more elaborate plan to make the Bahamas into a more energy-efficient place.
You're looking at a shot there of Pinewood Gardens in southern New Providence, and that shot courtesy of our drone pilot, Shane Gibson. Welcome back. While tourism officials continue to keep a close eye on global travel trends, the Nassau Cruise Port says it's well positioned to keep the momentum going. As Leah Cooper tells us, port officials are confident the months ahead will deliver strong results.
Nassau Cruise Port is calling it the slow season, but don't let that fool you. Cruise Port CEO Mike Mora says the period may be quieter, but the numbers are anything but slow. This as the port recorded nearly a 15% increase in passenger arrivals during the first quarter of this year, while ship calls also climbed by more than 5%.
Likely every other, apart from the ports of Miami, Port Everglades, and Port Canaveral, U.S. ports, every other, let's call it port of call port or transit port, would give their left arm to have our slow season, which is so we're actually in the slow season today. And we have 6 ships, and we have over 19,000 passengers today.
Mora says being just a short sail from the United States is both a blessing and a challenge. Many cruise guests are repeat visitors, which leaves the port to keep finding new ways to wow them.
This $350 million new port waterfront that we've done here at the Nassau Cruise Port has created that new excitement, that new reason to come off the ship, which has helped us go from the 3.85 million passengers, which were the most passengers ever recorded in the Bahamas for a single port, to, like I mentioned, anticipating about 6.7 million this year.
And while more than 19,000 passengers disembarked on Wednesday, Mora says the port itself is designed to comfortably hold about 5,000 people at a time. The rest, they spread their tourism dollars across the capital, heading to beaches, attractions, restaurants, and water excursions.
Whatever is beyond that 5,000 number, let's say, has to go someplace. And so our marine infrastructure, we move about 2 million people per year by water someplace else. We move well over 1 million people per year by some form of ground transportation from this cruise port. So right there you've got well over 3 million people going to do something else. But then it leaves you with what's really described as that independent passenger who hasn't quite figured out what they're going to do and so forth. And so they're roaming the streets of Nassau. They're going to Junkanoo Beach, which I understand is one of the busiest beaches in the region.
So while the cruise port may be in its slow season, the steady flow of visitors is keeping much of Nassau anything but. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Leah Cooper.
Well, Minister of Labor, Public Service and National Insurance, the Honorable Pia Glover-Rowe, reacting tonight to the latest labor force survey, holding firm that the Davis administration's expanding opportunities agenda is working. Figures show that for the final 2 quarters of 2025, the country's jobless rate was unchanged at 8.8% in the 3rd quarter and 8.7% in the 4th quarter. Employment, however, increased by 3,450, pushing that number to more than 226,000 by the end of 2025.
Figures also tell us that the jobs being created are keeping pace with the number of people that are looking for employment. And of course, that's not something we want to take for granted. It means that our policies are working, but we have to continue to work even harder to expand employment opportunities and bring discouraged workers back into the fold.
Minister Glover-Rowe went on to the 3 pillars driving the administration's approach to expanding employment for Bahamians.
First of all, we're expanding employment opportunities through training and education through our Opportunity Hub, which is our ecosystem for training. We can turn unskilled workers into skilled workers by giving them access to training and education. And this is opening doors for those in our workforce who were once deemed unemployable. Second, we're creating jobs by growing the economy, by drawing in foreign and domestic investment while making sure qualified Bahamians get the first consideration whenever a position opens. And third, we're making sure that growth reaches across the archipelago.
Shifting our attention now to health, some may call it growing pains. The multi-million-dollar renovation to the Princess Margaret Hospital's operating theater causing major delays in surgeries. Health and Wellness Minister Dr. The Honorable Michael Darville says works are being carried out on a seamless floor, and logistics of moving patients had to be carried out before work started, putting the operating theater out of service for elective surgeries. He assured, though, that those repairs should be completed soon.
I want the Bahamian people to know that all emergency services are still up and running, and we want to do this repair very quickly because the floor had some problems, and we wanted to make sure it was replaced so that the theater can flow effectively and all the operating theaters could be reopened.
The minister says he's happy his ministry was able to secure funding to make the necessary renovations.
This particular flooring had problems for many years, and we're very fortunate to have the funding that was allocated to us by way of the CIBC loan, which is not only for that, it's also for the kitchen, it's also for the renovation of the legacy ward and the new dialysis unit. Is all incorporated, and funding is now available and the work has begun. There is a bit of inconvenience because you know how difficult it is to operate and renovate, and so there's some challenges. We ask the Bahamian people to just bear with us, particularly those who need elective surgeries, that once the flooring is down, everything goes back to normal.
Meantime, 4 brand new flatbed trucks, 3 golf carts, 8 generators, a stack of monitors, and other pieces of critical equipment handed over to health officials. The gift, courtesy of Northcom from the United States Embassy. Health and Wellness Minister Dr. The Honorable Michael Darville says the much-needed equipment will be put to great use at various public health care facilities throughout the country.
This is a wonderful day for the Ministry of Health and Wellness. I can tell you that the supplies that is before us is well needed. We are so pleased to have a partner like Northcom, and we are grateful for what they have done for us in the Ministry of Health and by extension, the people throughout the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Senior defense officer in the U.S. Navy, Commander Victor Lang, says this donation speaks to not only the strong partnership both countries share, but the extraordinary work healthcare workers perform daily.
The Ministry of Health and Wellness, to the Department of Public Health, to the Public Hospitals Authority, and to every healthcare worker who operate this equipment. This donation is for you and for your patients. The United States has deep respect for the work you do every day, often under demanding conditions.
This portion of the news is brought to you by folk called Smart Pass, the smart way to pay at the pump.
When the craving hits, there's only one thing everybody agrees on. Hot, crispy, Wendy's chicken tenders. Made to satisfy every bite. Whether it's served as a slider or wrap, it's always perfectly seasoned, perfectly crunchy, and always cooked fresh. From lunch with friends to family moments worth sharing. For chicken tenders you're gonna know by name, gotta be Wendy's.
Tasha, what you saying? Girl, right here, rushing to cash, J.S. Johnson. I gotta renew my insurance. Oh, I with JSJ too, but I don't wait in line. I just pay online. Stop it. How you do that? Just email info@jsjohnson.com and say, sign me up for the online service center. They'll reach out and hook you up. You ain't never have to stand in line again. Amen to that. Save time. Pay online. Sign up for J.S. Johnson's online service center today.
Insurance, peace of mind. My name is Omar Ferguson. I've been disabled now from 2009. What inspired me to start my own business? It was the determination to know that I still had something left in me, even though a lot of my independence, my mobility was being restricted. In my disability, it's kind of hard finding the investors or the capital. For example, national insurance. The benefit that we receive, it's a lifeline. And in any business that you're going to take, it's going to be a risk. We're not looking for handouts, but we want you to understand that we still need a little special care. This literally gives us a backbone that, hey, we could actually stand someday. This is the business I know it's going to be a risk. Even going through that process, I'm still dependent on national insurance. Overall, being in the program itself has put me in a place where I feel young again. I feel like anything is possible. I would say to others with disabilities, look around your community, just like you guys said in one of the modules. See what is needed in your community and go for it. Don't be afraid, just go for it.
For more information about how the SBDC can help your small business to make a big impact, give us a call at 461-7232 or visit sbdcbahamas.com.
The tastiest thing about soccer is sharing it with the whole team, just like the new Ready for Soccer. A delicious lineup of 16 slices and 4 flavor sections. Perfect for sharing from start to finish, even beyond the 90 minutes. Get your team together and dig in, only at Little Caesars.
Pizza, pizza.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station, open the app, scan the pump's QR code, select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
Well, as the nation prepares to celebrate another year of independence, Bahamians gathered in the heart of downtown Nassau this morning to honor the history, strength, and resilience that continues to define the country's identity. Our Maya Moss was there.
Against the backdrop of Rawson Square, the Bahamian flag was hoisted this morning. It's black, gold, and aquamarine, telling the story of a people who dared to dream, endured every challenge, and emerged as one nation. Wednesday's flag-raising ceremony officially ushering in this year's independence celebrations. Minister of Culture, Arts, and Heritage, the Honorable Leslie Amila Bryce, touted the event as one honoring the pioneers whose courage and sacrifice laid the foundation for the free and the sovereign land Bahamians proudly call home.
Our heritage is not only something we inherited, it is something we must preserve, celebrate, and pass on with pride. Our national flag stands as a lasting symbol of that heritage. Its aquamarine reflects our seas, its gold, our natural riches, and its black triangle, the strength, resilience, and unity of the Bahamian people.
Minister of Tourism, the Honorable Glenys Hannah Martin, echoed those sentiments, adding that independence is shared responsibility every Bahamian must protect.
We must never forget, in all that we do, the faithfulness of our God. Yes. We have come this far by faith. Yes. Amen. Today, I thank God for this Bahama land. I salute this beautiful flag. Yes. And I pray that the years ahead will be the best years this nation has ever seen. We have to make it happen.
As the national flag waved, officials say it carried it with the hopes of a people, the sacrifices of a generation, and the enduring promise of a nation forever free. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Amaya Moss.
Well, Royston and Marlena join us live for a sneak peek of what's coming up in Access Now.
Good evening, Mukushla. Listen, summers are not what they used to be. Over the last few days, I mean, we're, 5-6 days into summer? I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, not even that far yet.
I think we say this every year, but it feels hotter than ever.
They're built different, and it was pouring rain today.
Yes. A whole spectrum of weather.
You had like a moment of heat stroke, and then you've left your umbrella at home.
Are you humid?
Or you're stuck inside for an hour trying to wait for it to dry up outside.
Right.
Summer's not what it used to be, like you said. So no better of a time. We're going to be talking to people tonight coming from the Bahamas Youth Climate Conference that's going to be happening this week, trying to make sure that we can plan for the future and hopefully kind of get these summers back on track to where they're supposed to be and help save the world one small island nation at a time.
And I was just about to tell you that's a good issue. That's a good interview that's coming up in Access Now, because I'm going to tell you, the hotter it is, it all speaks to climate change that we've been talking about for many years now.
Yes, indeed.
So, well, stay with us, the Bahamas Tonight. The National Report continues after.
Marco's Pizza, Marco's Pizza, something never tasted so good. Marco's Summer Party is bringing the fun. Choose 2 large one-topping pizzas with a 2-liter soda for just $34.95. Or grab a big square deal, 1 medium, 1-topping pizzas with boneless wings for just $39.95. Enter to win weekly Baja Bay water passes and your very own Marco's Summer Party pack all summer long. Marco's Pizza, summer never tasted so good.
50 years of nation building, see the legacy we trust. Oh, the water is our lifeline, and the future flows to us. From the Pine Barrens to the ocean, in the sun and in the dust, we are building for tomorrow, and the future flows to us. Yeah, yeah. Yes, the future flows to us.
The Water and Sewage Corporation, celebrating 50 years of nation building.
Throughout our lifetime, we must all make decisions. No matter how we choose, the right one just needs to be made. Like having J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers as your insurance partner. We've been serving the Bahamas for over 100 years. Whether you need home, motor, marine, or commercial insurance, make the right decision. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance, peace of mind.
Never swim alone. Don't go deep into the pool. Don't run around the pool because you might slip and get hurt. If someone else falls into the water, don't go in and get them by yourself. Call for help. Parents, sign up your children for Let's Swim Bahamas.
And that does it for the National Report, but stay close. The Bahamas Tonight continues with Access Now.
Tourism today, Bahamas tourism today.
The Exuma Sailing Club is very popular on the island amongst all the kids. Our main goal of the club is to offer sailing to the young boys and girls of Exuma, absolutely free of charge. We are one of the only clubs in the Bahamas that offers traditional sloop sailing. What we call the Bahamian traditional sloop is a wooden-built sailboat built in the Bahamas by Bahamian boat builders. They are only sailed here in the Bahamas. Sailing teaches you discipline, and it teaches you attention to detail, because if you don't pay attention to those things, the boat and the weather will punish you very, very quickly.
Every time I sail, I get like the same thrill over and over again. It never gets boring for me. Sailing is unlike anything else. I'm just in a whole other world out there.
I always like the water. I find it really pretty and relaxing. I feel like it's my happy place sometimes. I find it more of like a fun and relaxing kind of thing rather than something competitive.
My favorite part is meeting new people, learning a sport, or you can find new competition who helps you improve. I really love it.
I think it is a really, really good program for kids to get involved in at a very young age. The reason we compete is because the kids love sailing. They love the Bahamian way of sailing. Traditional sloop sailing is such a big part of this island and this culture.
For more tourism updates, visit Tourism Today or Bahamas.com. This is Tourism Today.
Happy National Flag Raising Day. See how we celebrated here at ZNS.
Plus, students at Aquinas College get a glimpse of life at Harvard University. Those details straight ahead.
Also, Kalik unveils its newest campaign and bottle design. You want to stay close for that.
And your Access Now Hump Day Sports Report is coming right up.
Bahamas Tonight Access Now starts now.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Royson Jones.
And I'm Marlena Leonard. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight Access Now.
Now, today marks the conclusion of Deaf-Blind Awareness Week, a time to recognize the importance of inclusion, accessibility, and the many ways people connect with the world around them.
And it's a reminder that communication is about far more than just what we say. It's about making sure everyone has the opportunity to be heard, understood, and included. And that's something worth recognizing and celebrating year-round.
Absolutely, because some of the most powerful things we share don't always require words. And with that said, let's dive right into the news. National flag raising celebrations continuing today at the grounds of the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas and the Bahamas Information Services as leaders called on Bahamians to reflect on the country's past while recommitting to its future. Our very own Lyle Maycock reports.
The black, aquamarine, and gold was raised high above the grounds of the Broadcast Corporation of the Bahamas and the Bahamas Information Services, marking the official start of this year's Independence observance. Minister of State, the Honorable Mikkel Barnaby, told those gathered that the ceremony represents more than tradition, saying it is a call for every Bahamian to play a role in building a stronger nation.
Each time we raise our Bahamian flag, we do more than observe a ceremony. We renew our commitment to our nation. Patriotism is not measured only by the words we speak or the celebrations we attend. It is reflected in how we serve one another, how we carry out our daily responsibilities, and how we contribute to making the Bahamas stronger for generations to come.
This year's theme also carried special meaning for the host agencies, with the Broadcast Corporation of the Bahamas and the Bahamas Information Services reminding the public that preserving the nation's story is just as important as celebrating it. Acting General Manager of ZNS, Opal Roach, said every newscast, documentary, and historical record helps capture the moments that define the Bahamian experience.
Every day, we tell the story of our nation. We inform, educate, entertain, and inspire, truly preserving the moments that become a part of our country's history. As our flag is raised today, may it renew our sense of pride, strengthening our commitment to public service, and remind us that each of us has a role to play in shaping the future of the country.
Director General of the Bahamas Information Services, Elcott Colby, also challenged Bahamians to use this independence season to reflect on the country's journey while looking ahead to the next chapter of national development.
As we raise our flag and contemplate our identity and citizenship responsibilities, I implore you and humbly submit you should think on these ideas and fuel this experiment we call liberal democracy.
With the raising of the national flag, the Bahamas has officially begun its observance of the 53rd anniversary of independence, a celebration of the past, a reflection of the present, and the look forward to the future. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lyle Maycock.
Thanks so much, Lyle. Well, ever wondered what it would be like to go to Harvard University? Well, 50 students got a special sneak peek into what their futures could hold as the Ivy League institution kicked off a 3-day leadership program today. Our West Calix Forbes has more.
For these high schoolers, there are many options to choose from when it comes to picking which college they'll attend. But students and alumni of Harvard University are in town showing them why the Crimson should be their choice. Over the next 3 days, 48 Aquinas College students and 2 from Mary Star of the Sea in Grand Bahama will participate in the H-Pair Leadership Program.
They will engage in debates, public speaking, interviews. They will learn how to think critically, how to analyze, and at the end of the program, they will create what is called a passion project. They will also receive a certificate from Harvard University to verify that they've been a part of this awesome program. This is historical for Aquinas College, and we look forward to this being the beginning of greater things to come.
The students will also get a crash course on how to ace the interview for college or a job. The goal, they say, is to create future change makers and give them a glimpse into college world, from administration to application, leadership skills, and life experiences. The latter are what Harvard alumna Catherine Bellado says the university looks for the most and is demonstrated in the program's highly regarded Passion Project.
It shows that the student has initiative, leadership, independence, and that they actually want to positively impact the world. And that's another quality that I think Harvard really looks for beyond just like intelligence is what are you going to do with that intelligence? How are you going to actually implement that in the real world?
Aquinas College head boy Valentino Lloyd says this is exactly the kind of seminar he needed to attend.
As head boy, I hold a leadership role in the school, and I believe this seminar will really help me to properly and effectively lead my student body. So I'm excited for the person that I'll become after this and just any little nuggets of knowledge that I can take away.
At the end of the program, these students are expected to lead with purpose, serve with compassion, and inspire the future. For the Bahamas Tonight, Access Now, I'm Wes Calix Forbes.
What an incredible opportunity. Thank you so much, Wes. Now, one of the Bahamas' most iconic brands is paying tribute to Bahamian pride just days before the nation celebrates its 53rd independence. Galik recently unveiled 4 limited edition labels, turning its signature packaging into canvases that celebrate Bahamian culture, conservation, creativity, and the iconic cowbell. Our Desmond Saunders has the story.
The launch, held at the Nassau Cruise Port, introduced special edition designs that will appear in Calic's regular bottles throughout summer. The new look is paired with a fresh television campaign built around this year's theme, In Our Hands, reminding Bahamians that preserving the country's culture, heritage, and natural beauty is a shared responsibility. Calic says the project was created by Bahamians for Bahamians with local talent, helping shape every step of the campaign. Stephen Roll is Calic's brand representative.
So our theme for this year is In Our Hands. And our pillars are actually culture, connectivity, the cowbell, and conservation. So we thought, why not fitting to bring those pillars on our labels? So that's what we did this year.
Bringing that vision to life, Bahamian artist Theo McLean, who combined traditional sketching with digital design to create 4 distinct labels, all while staying true to Calic's signature brand identity.
Well, after receiving the creative brief, I then had to come up with imagery to basically solidify what they wanted to bring to the table. And basically it's something for them to last for the whole summer quarter. And I think I did a really good job.
Cultural advocates say the collection goes beyond packaging. For cultural advocate and historian Arlene Ash Ferguson, it tells a story of who Bahamians are, honoring the people, traditions, and symbols that define a nation.
This is magnificent. What they have done is they have focused on 4 main aspects of our culture just to highlight and to represent our full culture. And truly it is commendable. These exhibits are absolutely magnificent.
From shelf to celebration, these limited edition labels are designed to do more than catch the eye. They serve as a colorful reminder that the Bahamas' greatest brand has always been its people, culture, and heritage. Desmond Saunders, The Bahamas Tonight.
Such great visuals. Still to come, the Bahamas Youth Climate Change Conference starts tomorrow. We've got the story next.
And of course, Diane Dorsett has your Access weather forecast, so stay close.
Independence Day is right around the corner, and so are the savings at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Libby Spaghetti and Meatballs, 15 ounces, $1.69. Mahatma Jasmine rice, 2 pounds, $2.99. Whole chickens, $1.89 per pound. Sweet nectarines or peaches, $2.19 per pound. Sweet strawberries, 1 pound, $5.99. Shop with confidence knowing you're saving when you're shopping the specials at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
Come and visit us at Shop Smart, 'cause everything is here.
Yes, we have it all for you. Toys, clothing, office supplies, appliances, custom cut blinds, bedding, drapes, and rugs. Come and visit us on Mackey Street, 2 blocks down from Wolf Road. Call us at 698-1052.
Shop Smart, at Shop Smart, at Shop Smart. Oh, everything is here.
During a storm, your safety is priority number 1. Stay indoors and away from windows and avoid going outside. Keep a flashlight handy and tune in to all official updates. Never use candles. They are a fire risk. Stay calm, stay connected, stay safe.
It's your favorite part of the evening. It's time for your Access weather forecast, your quick look at what's shaping our weather for the next few days. And we are halfway through the year. And for your mid-year review, congratulations to our summer high temperatures. They have been overachieving since the start of summer. We've got mostly sunny and warm days with a few showers here and there. But if you're looking for a weather change, we won't be getting anything drastic, just a few more showers and thunderstorms, especially through the weekend. Looking at our satellite picture, we're seeing clouds around the northern Bahamas associated with a troughing, which will continue to trigger occasional showers and thunderstorms over parts of the area tonight and tomorrow. And then disorganized showers and thunderstorms that were initially north of Puerto Rico will bring showers over the weekend as it moves northwestward over the country. But otherwise, we'll get hot sunny days for the rest of the week. So continue to stay hydrated and stay in shaded areas whenever you can. And elsewhere in the tropics, there is no tropical cyclone development expected during the next 7 days. Now looking at our 3-day boiling forecast. In the northwest Bahamas tonight and tomorrow, we'll get light and variable winds with seas at 1 to 3 feet, a high tide at 10:08 in the morning, followed by a low tide at 4:06 in the afternoon. And moving down in the central Bahamas, southeast winds at 10 to 15 knots, seas at 2 to 4 feet, and in the southeast Bahamas, southeast winds again, but stronger at 12 to 18 knots with seas at 3 to 6 feet with a small craft caution in place. And then on Friday in the northwest Bahamas, southeast to south winds at 10 to 15 knots, seas at 2 to 4 feet. We'll get a high tide at 10:48 Friday morning, followed by a low tide at 4:46 that afternoon. And then in the central and southeast Bahamas, southeast winds all at 10 to 15 knots with seas at 2 to 4 feet. Now, here's a look at your international temperatures brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
Hey mama, hey grandma, they're coming from far. They're coming from America and Canada. Hear me? Hey mama, hey grandma, they're coming from far. They're coming from America and Canada.
That was your international temperatures brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. And that wraps up your Access weather forecast. But join me again at 11 for a full weather update. Have a great evening, everyone.
Great tips to stay hydrated. Thanks so much, Diane, as always. Now, the 4th annual Bahamas Youth Climate Conference is taking place in the capital this week under the timely theme, Climate Activism, Local Action, Global Impact.
And here to tell us all about it, which begins tomorrow, is the Climate Ambassador Ryan Munnings and the Climate Officer in the Office of the Prime Minister, Denzel Colley. Thank you so much for joining us on Access Now.
Thank you very much for having us. It's a pleasure.
It's great to have you both. Now, this is a two-day event, but I want to ask you what kind of issues will be discussed at this conference, and what do you think attendees can expect?
Well, obviously, the main issue we're discussing is climate change. And so the theme for this year, as previously discussed, is local action and global impact. So we can expect to discuss the issues that we're facing here locally, the actions that we're taking locally, and then the impact that they have globally around the world.
So important, of course, especially for an island nation like ourselves.
And I think a lot of people feel like they can't make a difference, but sometimes it starts with you, and that's, if everyone does that one little thing, all of a sudden you can save the world. Now, is it invite only, or can people still register? Can they walk in tomorrow? Is there something that they can make sure they're on a mailing list for next time?
So it is not invite only. You can walk in tomorrow at 9, up until 9 a.m. and register. We are looking to pack the entire house at UB tomorrow and on Friday as well.
And I'm sure the house will be packed, of course, but that means it's not too late for anyone to get in there.
It's not too late, no.
Now, as far as the overall goal of this conference, what is hoped to come out of this? So especially for we're talking about small to big changes.
Yes.
So the overall goal, the mandate that the Prime Minister set forth for our unit is to make sure that we educate and to bring the youth up to speed with climate change. And not only youth, but just the Bahamian as populace, right? So from the cradle to the grave is what we say, right? We need to sensitize person about climate change, because climate change is everyone's business, right? It affects everything, and it is multi-sectoral. It is cross-cutting.
There's no hiding.
Every single aspect deals with climate change. So it's important for us to educate the Bahamian people.
And so glad that youth are actually leading this thing as well.
Yes, that too.
Beautiful.
Now, before we go, can you remind us one more time when and where and how people can register?
Yes. So at the University of the Bahamas, tomorrow, July 2nd and 3rd, you can come right to the desk, sign up, and just enjoy the presentations.
You said it's from 9 a.m.?
From 9 a.m. to 4 p.m.
All right, there you go. Good, best of luck. I might pop in for a second. I love me some climate talks.
Oh, yeah.
Stay with us. Sports with Amajal Knowles is up right after this break.
As it continues to celebrate its 50th anniversary, the Water and Sewage Corporation recently held its second National Integrated Water Resources Management Workshop at Margaritaville. Officially opening the workshop was Minister responsible for the corporation, Honorable Jo Beth Colby Davis.
IWRM encourages us to move beyond fragmented approaches and instead adopt coordinated, evidence-based decision-making that balances social, environmental, and economic priorities of all stakeholders. It recognizes that water management is not solely the responsibility of one ministry or one utility. It is a shared national responsibility.
WSC General Manager Robert Deal also urged that we all must pay attention to our water resources.
I think we take it for granted at times. Definitely, we believe that water will always be here. But yes, it is finite, and it is a resource that has to be managed, particularly here in New Providence, where we see a lot of development ongoing.
WSC Head of Water Resources, Dr. Tara Mackey, explained the significance of the event.
To continue dialogue, because as I said, we engage most of these stakeholders in 2023. So we need to play catch up. We want to make sure that we're all on the same page, that everyone is still committed, and that we are prepared that when the funds arrive, we are ready to just implement.
In March, the Bahamas obtained a $65.2 million grant in climate resilience financing. Of that figure, the Water and Sewage Corporation would receive over $2 million. The project, titled Climate Resilience of the Water Sector of the Bahamas, aims to protect the country's vulnerable freshwater resources and strengthen groundwater monitoring and water resource management. I'm Kendia Smith, and that's what's on tap.
Here's a nation building, see the legacy we trust. Oh, the water is our lifeline, and the future flows through us. From the pine barrens to the ocean, in the sun and in the dust, we are building for tomorrow, and the future flows through us. Yeah, yeah. Yes, the future flows through us.
The Water and Sewage Corporation, celebrating 50 years of nation building.
Here are a few things that you can add to your hurricane kit to give it a much-needed upgrade. Portable power banks, solar chargers, solar-powered radios, and similar items. While you're at it, make sure you're stocked up on the regulars, battery-operated radio and flashlight, additional batteries, a comprehensive first aid kit, along with 2 weeks of medication. Be sure to add life vests for family members and a toolkit. There should be 1 gallon of water per day for each member of your family and non-perishable food. Be sure to secure important documents like banking and insurance information and government-issued identification. And pay close attention to the ZNS network for all your weather updates. If this seems like a lot, think of it as survival through preparation. This season, be weather smart, weather safe.
Are hungry, you have to feed them to make sure they stay healthy. You have to feed them every day.
Midweek Sports Check, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles, talking sports. Some sweet revenge for Bahamian baseball superstar Jazz Chisholm Jr. after he's been the topic of the New York tabloids this week after the Yankees second baseman was seen eating a lollipop during the Yankees' loss on Monday to the Detroit Tigers. Now, after 48 hours of criticism, Jazz would have the last laugh. On Tuesday night, top of the 6th inning, a 3-2 count. Jazz would take Casey Mize deep over the wall to give the Yankees the lead and notch his 12th home run on the year. The Yankees would escape with the 4-3 win.
They were screaming it during the at-bat, like, where's the lollipop at? I think I got 0-2 early in the at-bat, and they started screaming, like, are you going to get a lollipop or what? You know, so I was looking for the pitch all night. I think I got it first strike I got of the day from him was that same pitch, and I was looking for it all day after that because I felt like I missed it early in the game. So I was on it until I got it again and hammered it.
And of course, it's Wednesday, which means a new feature in our Women in Sports series. Our Michelle Butler, this time catching up with one of our Carifta medalists about her journey to the top of the podium.
Crowley is an under-17 Carifta Games gold medalist in the 400 meters, an under-20 Carifta Games silver medalist as part of the 4x4 relay team, and a BAISS champion for St. Augustine's College. But her journey to success started long before the medals.
It first started in kindergarten, but I started competing competitively in junior school. I've always loved competing and running in the street as a little child, so I guess it became more than some just fun, you know.
What started as a love for running soon grew into something much bigger. As she developed as an athlete, Carly found herself faced with challenges that would test her patience, confidence, and determination. Those moments would help shape the athlete she is today.
2025 was a very rough year because hurdle practice was not the best at all. Like, it was horrible to a point where I wanted to break down and just wanted to quit hurdles. But then everybody was spoken to me and tell me this is where I belong at, and I just keep on working. And as I keep on working, everything just went smooth, and I was like, I love this event. This is going to be my event.
Like many young athletes, there were times when the journey wasn't easy, but through perseverance and the support of those around her, she continued to push forward. That commitment to her goals eventually earned her the chance to wear the Bahamas colors on a regional stage.
Representing the Big 242 is probably the best experience an athlete could have. It was very It was very emotional. And running at Carifta is like first step to knowing that you're going to be a great athlete. So it's just like a warm-up to the big event.
While her accomplishments on the track have earned her recognition and success, they represent only one side of who she is. Away from the competition, she's a young woman who takes pride in her character, values, and the impact she has on those around her. She shares more about the person she is off the track.
Maya is a very goofy person. I love helping people, as y'all can see by the give back. I love helping people. I'm just a joyful person. That's just me.
From breaking barriers on the track to making a difference in her community, Crawley has proven that success is about more than medals. With her talent, determination, and heart for others, she continues to inspire the next generation of Bahamian athletes. That's this week's edition of Women in Sports Wednesday. I'm Michelle Butler.
Thanks, Michelle. Switching gears, summer is here and the local basketball camps are off and running. Among them, the Island Dreams basketball camp headed by Daston Baker over at St. John's College. Baker speaking to the ZNS sports team about the inspiration behind the camp.
The inspiration came from, wanting to see my guys get better over the summer. And to carry on to help us be a better basketball team in the season. Development is very important. It's pivotal that they develop, especially in the off season. That's where they get with the development of the skills that allows them to get opportunities to play abroad and to be better basketball players and give a good product when people come and watch them play.
We caught up with one of the young hoopers as well.
Camp has been good. This is my second day here. I've seen a lot improve in my work. This camp, it helps you to get big faster, helps you to break down defenders, helps you to talk the basket better. The coaching staff is good. Camp is very good.
And we end tonight's sportscast on a somber note. The Fox Hill and local basketball community mourning the passing of basketball legend Patrick McKenzie. McKenzie was a pivotal member of the Fox Hill sporting communities from the 1970s through the late 90s. He was a member of the Fox Hill Congos basketball team and played on the national level as well. Sending his regards would be Fox Hill Member of Parliament, the Honorable Fred Mitchell, said McKenzie inspired dozens of persons in the Fox Hill community, extended condolences to his family and friends. And that's been a look at your sports on this Wednesday. I'm Amajal Knowles, signing out until tomorrow.
Independence Day is right around the corner, and so are the savings at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Libby spaghetti and meatballs, 15 ounces, $1.69. Mahatma jasmine rice, 2 pounds, $2.99. Whole chickens, $1.89 per pound. Sweet nectarines or peaches, $2.19 per pound. Sweet strawberries, 1 pound, $5.99. Shop with confidence knowing you're saving when you're shopping the specials at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
So how's your preparation going? By now, you should be completing home repairs since the last storm, updating and replenishing your emergency kit, and paying closer attention to the ZNS networks for earlier than normal developments in the tropics and general storm tracking. Hurricanes don't wait. Why should you? This season, be weather smart, weather safe.
The countdown is officially on until our 53rd Independence Can't Wait, but that's going to do it for Access Now for tonight. As always, thanks for joining us.
And be sure to stay tuned for the rundown with Howard Grant.
Good night,
everybody.
At Centerville, I'm LaDawn Davis. This is ZNS.
course you are. But be sure to tune in every weekday at 7:30 p.m. for the Bahamas Tonight Access Now,
where we bring you the brighter side of news.
Join us for the Bahamas Tonight
Access Now, weeknights at 7:30 p.m.
So you're planning to weather the storm at home. You've bypassed all the shelters. Your preparation is complete, and so are your emergency kits. You're ready. But what happens if the storm changes direction and it's a direct hit? What's your evacuation plan? If you don't have one, make one. And remember, take into account the location of your house, whether it's near beaches, canals, or it sits in a flood-prone area, and be realistic about the evacuation plan. Plan what to take. In its simplest form, take only what you cannot afford to lose. Have a go bag ready and a discussion beforehand what bag contents should consist of, like toiletries, medication, change of clothing, and important documents in a waterproof folder. Take inventory of your home, pictures included. Make sure your vehicle has a full tank of gas. Decide your destination and the best route. If you can't get out, find safety in the highest level of your home. And as always, be sure to pay close attention to the ZNS network for weather updates. This season, be weather smart, weather safe.
I'm here at the Dixon Hill Lighthouse in San Salvador to let you know that marine protected areas make dollars and cents. A well-designed and managed network of protected areas can generate income for nearby communities. From MPA managers to lodges to eco-tours, there is money to be made.
Healthy marine ecosystems help to protect our islands from climate change and other impacts that we cannot control. Healthy coral reefs help to break down big waves, and mangroves absorb storm surge and help to protect our coastline.
Older and larger fish tend to carry more and healthier eggs than younger fish. Fish replenishment areas will allow fish to grow bigger and ensure that we have more fish now and in the future.
In a replenishment area, fish are free to grow and reproduce. As their populations increase, more fish will spill over into other areas where fishermen can increase their catch and their income.
I support the establishment of a marine protected area on my island.
I support the establishment of marine protected areas on my island.
I support the establishment of marine protected areas on my island.
I support the establishment of a marine protected area on my island, and you should too.
And you should too.
And you should too.
And you should too.
See the future with Bahamas Protectors.
At Centerville, I'm LaDawn Davis. This is ZNS.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Rundown. My name is Howard Grant, and it is so wonderful to have you with us. Tonight, first night of July, the 7th month of the year, getting ourselves prepared over the next few days to be able to celebrate 53 years of independence. A great deal of things have been happening over the past few days, and I know you want to dive into that live. And in full effect, we're going to be diving into those conversations. Joining me tonight in that particular fort is none other than political analyst and talk show host, pundit, and all of that in one entrepreneur is none other than Ian Munnings. He's here with us, being able to jam this evening. And also joining us to dive into those particular conversations, he too, political analyst, talk show host, entrepreneur, bee extractor extraordinaire. What do you call it? A bee savant? I don't know what he is. All those particular things. None other than Garth Maynard Roseborough being able to jam with us. My brothers, good evening.
Good evening. It's always a pleasure.
Good evening, Howard Grant.
It's very good to have you. I see all of us dressed down this evening because guess what? It is hot.
It's very hot. It's very hot.
And also we're in the thick of summer and being able to dive into those particular things. And so we're going to be doing these things as we continue to be able to commemorate. We got to get our Bahamian colors together, and we're hoping that you're patriotic also, and being able to wear those. You like to row with the other people's patriotism. Right? When you like to round with the people patriotism, so we hope that you show your patriotism and being able to get your Bahamian colors going. 53 years, gentlemen. We're celebrating that. We're looking forward to a great deal of things. Talk to me about your thoughts as we continue to be able to prepare ourselves for that.
53 years of independence, and we're looking at the Bahamas as the young persons progress, and they're looking into the future in terms of things that they expect to happen, and they want it to happen quickly, Garth. They want this to happen quickly, because we heard about the stories during the late Sir Lyndon Oscar Pendleton time. We weren't there, and most of us, some of us was there, but most of us weren't. So there were some struggles that went along with all of that, you know what I mean, and some hardships and some things that had to take place. That was the connecting, the bridge that took us where we are right now. And so the younger persons are saying we appreciate all of that, but we want a space that is ours.
Yeah, we've just come through a celebratory period where we have seen a whole lot of gathering, a whole lot of partying, fireworks, unlimited chicken and pork on the grill and beers. And so Howard Grant, it's amazing.
Are you talking about election day?
He's talking about election
time.
I'm talking about.
I'm trying to show you we have a slight lull where we started to talk about the budget and, of course, other matters. And now we're going right back into celebration again. Here's where we need not make the mistake. I think Leslie Miller Price is the Minister for Culture. If you do recall that when they had their initial political gatherings over there in the Sea Breeze area, the spectacular presentation that they had for that. And she has now made a name for herself of just performing spectacularly when it comes to events. We do anticipate the same thing will happen very shortly for our independence celebration. But we cannot miss the whole notion that the young people and the people of the Bahamas alike are having high expectations to have something else to celebrate. People are looking for jobs, people are looking for security, people are looking for better health conditions. It goes on, but we have to now begin to get immersed into the Bahamian people's real needs and begin true progress.
So you're saying we need to start to get the work done?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So, as we're looking at this and looking at this particular concept and whatnot, finding ourselves, I believe, like you said about Leslie Miller Price in a particular capacity, the Honorable Minister, I believe that she'll be able to show a good showing. She's done excellent. She started from 49ing.
Listen.
What was the first one she did?
I think it was it was the 50th. I think it was the 50th.
The 50th was a big one, yeah.
The 50th was a big one. The 50th was a big one, right.
It was a big one that she...
I think we had the drones and all of that kind of thing.
Yeah,
it was spectacular. I haven't seen anything like that before. Yeah. She grew up in this political arena. She grew up in that atmosphere, I think. So her putting on what she does, she does her best in her space. And culture, I think it was a great space for her to be put.
I thought it was a good choice that they made.
I think it was a wonderful choice for them to put it up.
She, unlike a great deal of the others who would have been chosen before the country knew what their capabilities were, she has been able to prove to us beforehand what the expectation should be if she's given an opportunity. Now that she's nestled in that kind of a position, I expect her to perform and show up and show out in those particular areas. So the 53rd should be excellent, and you know she has another 5 more if this is what she's going to be doing. And so as we're leading up up to the 60, I expect a lot of things to be able to come out of her ministry and out of those particular areas. But there is much to be able to celebrate throughout the country. There is a great deal of gratitude that we should continue to be able to talk about, this kind of a posture that we have in the country. I think we're very casual with these particular things. I believe, if I'm going to be absolutely honest with you, I think a lot of us are now being able to recognize and come to grips with reality about the fragile nature of life after we would have lost about 6 or maybe 7 by now persons
traffic fatalities
past week and some to traffic fatalities. Right now they're actually having a vigil right at on Shirley Street as they commemorate the loss of some of the young ladies who actually passed away. And so whilst we're celebrating, there is a necessity for sobriety and introspection and sort of reflection to understand that we didn't get here by ourselves. Talk to me.
Yeah, I like the choice of your words. I was actually thinking the same thing. You're in my head. I do believe that these recent mishaps have brought the sobriety to all of us. But now the introspection as to who we really are individually as well as collectively, the Bahamian people want to feel as if we are a people that will survive the spirit of decimation. It almost seems as if that you
well, they
talk
make their pronouncements. They say that we are resilient. We
said that, I've said that, but every man has kryptonite. It just comes a time, it comes a period. You're talking about 53 years. I recall when I became 53, I'm now going on 57, my own body began to attack me.
So you're saying a breaking point?
It's a breaking point. You begin to feel everything in your body. Last week I was walking, just normally walking, and all of a sudden my ankle just started to act as if it was sprained. I started to limp. I'm like, what the hell? And so the country is going to experience those same growth pains at this particular time. We have the older generation, as Ian said, that has identified as to a good reason why to celebrate. This young generation is saying, you know what? The pain that they felt, we cannot identify with. They're not going to feel when we begin to feel the sprain in our foot. They're going to say, you know what? Why are y'all limping? Why is the country limping? We know why we're limping.
You didn't go through anything.
They didn't go through anything to understand the limp. All they know, they can see it on television. They can watch Europe. As a matter of fact, even now with Abraham Tory over there in Africa, young people say, you know, why can't we do that in the Bahamas? Why can't we have our own way? Why can't we move the older people out of the way? They're getting in our way, limping. Why can't we just pick up the baton and just sprint? And so this is the conversation that is now in the homes. And if the members of parliament, recently elected, all 41 of them, do not understand that now is the time to play political doctor and go back into those homes again and listen to the Bahamian people, the next general election 2031 may have a different outcome.
Well, as you're talking about that, members of parliament has taken on this kind of a strong position, more specifically the Free National Movement, who has identified their shadow ministers.
Yeah.
After 6.5 years, no, I just kidding, after a few months, after a few weeks, they're now deciding to be able to identify those particular persons. Michael Pintard, and his particular capacity, has identified a great deal of persons. Let me see if I can be able to pull up this list for you to let you know exactly what's what, so we can be able to talk about that. Now, I know that the Free National Movement doesn't necessarily want to be in there, but once you make the news, we're going to talk about it, so we can be able to identify that. Michael Pintard, Free National Movement leader, Office of the Prime Minister, Mr. Shannon Cartwright, Free National Movement Deputy Leader, Shadow Minister for Education, Technical Vocation Training, Dwayne Sands, Chairman of the organization, Shadow Minister for Health and Wellness. You could be able to see that also. Here we go. Hold on, I think I got a thing right. So it said Mr. Safant Roll, who's the Secretary General, Shadow Secretariat General for the Free National Movement, Shadow Minister for Culture and Arts and Heritage, Kwesi Thompson, Member of Parliament, Shadow Minister for Finance, Shadow Minister for Innovation, National Development, Adrian White, MP, Shadow Minister for Housing and Land Reform, also Shadow Minister for Works and Family Island Affairs, Andre Rollins, Shadow Minister for Foreign Affairs, Shadow Minister for Energy and Utilities, Michael Barnett, who's also the Member of Parliament for Kalani, Shadow Minister for Legal Affairs, and Shadow Minister for Labor and Public Services and National Insurance. Lincoln Deal II, Shadow Minister for Youth and Sports, Shadow Minister for Urban Renewal and Community Relations. J. Leo Ferguson, MP, Shadow Minister for Agriculture and Marine Resources. Frazette Gibson, Shadow Minister for Transport, Shadow Minister for the Ministry of Grand Bahama. Senator, the Honorable Ellsworth Johnson, Shadow Minister for National Security, Senator the Honorable Arinthia Komalafe, Shadow Minister for Economic Affairs, Shadow Minister for Social Services, and Senator the Honorable Trevor Johnson, Shadow Minister for Environment and Natural Resources. Last but definitely not least, Senator Honorable Ulrich Rick Fox, Shadow Minister for Tourism here in the Bahamas. The Free National Movement has taken on this kind of a course to be able to identify their particular persons. It's peculiar that we don't see the duality of ministries when it comes to the deputy leader and the chairman, but other persons are now given more responsibilities to be able to perform in those particular steads. I looked at this today, I talked about it today, and I wondered to myself whether or not this is sort of the winding up.
The winding up?
I just wanted, I looked at that.
I just like when God do that.
God mischievous, he needs to get his act together, right? So I looked at this and I asked myself whether or not this was a winding up as it relates to Dwayne Sands and Shannon Cartwright.
You got to make it plain, Howard. This is 53 years we're talking about.
No, I'm asking, I don't know.
Up?
I'm asking whether or not the Free National Movement has identified to be able to assist Dwayne Sands and Dwayne Sands and Shannon Cartwright with this sort of a packing up and helping them to move off the scene from a political standpoint. As I see this, because we can see those particular persons with dual carriages and responsibilities to be able to do various things in the House of Assembly. And you know what's peculiar for me also, we didn't talk about this, the paper spoke significantly about this today. And you see me getting comfortable, I got to calm down. The paper spoke specifically about this today and spoke to the fact that the Prime Minister had a conversation with Michael Pintard, who asked for an allowance for the member with responsibility for business in the House of Assembly, more specifically, Adrian White. And so when the Prime Minister indicated that he would make the consideration, the Prime Minister not only considered for that particular member, the consideration was widespread. And this is where we started to actually have this kind of a conversation with the increase of these various allowances. And now all of a sudden, Michael Pintard said, well, listen, my people have issues and they got this and they got that. If it's good for Peter, it must be good for Paul. There needs to be a sense of consistency when we look at these particular things. I'm looking at the Free National Movement, and I don't know whether or not this kind of an elusive nature as it relates to their political approach is something that they want to be able to try to tackle and keep us on our guards, or whether or not they're just delusional in their approach of how they're dealing with politics at this time.
First of all, the idea of a shadow government from an oppositional force is nothing new. Let's just make that clear, okay? We understood that even in the Coalition of Independence, there was a shadow government or shadow ministers that were appointed even in the last election.
Yeah, they still exist.
Watch what happens.
I think the COI would have been preferably first before the FNM now. In this particular arena. In
this particular last electoral cycle. Okay, now watch what I'm saying to you. In 2021, when the COI was birthed and competed for the House of Assembly, the COI did extremely well in having only fell short of, I think, 2 to 3 seats to vie in that election. They did extremely well in recruitment.
With their ratified candidates?
Yes, they did.
Yeah, 1 or 2 persons stepped back and they was able to
follow me.
Rally it up.
After the election defeat, scattered. Everyone scattered. Those faces that we saw in 2021, we only saw a few of them in 2026. Let's be clear.
Hold that thought.
Hold the thought.
Hold the thought.
Hold the thought. I'm holding.
I know you're going in there now.
These particular things and dive into it. Let's take a quick commercial break, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be right back after this.
After 30 years of banking, I've decided to take a leap of faith. I moved from banking into an untapped industry, which is manufacturing in the Bahamas. And now we are standing on 3 acres of land on which we're going to be putting the Bahamas' first end-to-end plastic recycling company, Eden Recycling and Manufacturing Company Limited. Eden has 2 arms, recycling and manufacturing.
This is groundbreaking for us. It's never been done before. It really makes a difference, not only in the Bahamas, but even around the world. This is not just a project that we're doing so that we can make a couple of dollars. We want to make sure that it benefits those who come after us. In future generations, we hope that this is a small vision, that they will take it and they'll expand on it. We can have the formula for what it means to do end-to-end recycling in the Bahamas, in the region, and even if we have to export these ideas and thoughts and concepts even into the U.S.
I have been coming to this island since I was 12 years old. It didn't take me long to realize the rich history it has here. When I bought this island in 2018, I fulfilled a lifelong dream. The goal is not only to preserve the memories I made over those years, but to make new ones and to give others the opportunity to do the same. As we go through this process, it has become clear to me, we aren't just rebuilding an island, we're reviving a legend.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, here on The Rundown. So grateful to be with you, being able to jam, having a great conversation. I'm here with none other than Ian Munnings, being able to talk about a great deal of things. Garth got his the ball rolling just now, and just being able to talk about these things. Garth Maynard is with us right now, just being able to do these things.
Well, like I said, we saw after 2021 a scattering of the COI, even though they had even then shadow ministers. For 2026 election, they also had shadow ministers. The Free National Movement mentioned shadow ministers. Now the election is over, the Free National Movement has now reassigned shadow ministers in the shadow of the Sunshine government, which would be now the Progressive Liberal Party. They're in the Sunshine.
Right.
Okay, good. This is an attempt to keep the fold together. Do not allow the sheep to scatter. But as you do that, you now have to look at who is the shepherd. Has the shepherd changed? The shepherd has lost sheep after sheep after sheep.
99.
Okay?
He lost the 99 and kept the 1.
3 times he went out to look for those sheep, and he lost the sheep.
That's not the principle of a shepherd.
No, I'm just telling you what I'm saying to you.
Yo, want to tie this right in now.
But the sheep now, the little herd that's left, you got to keep that little herd together.
Of course.
Because in your mind, if you can stay relevant, then you can remain the shepherd. Look at what the shepherd does. The shepherd says, you know what? I'm going to focus only on the prime minister. What are you trying to tell me? I'm only going to focus on leadership. That's it. I don't want no other headache, no other problem.
Maybe trying to be able to duplicate or project the exact same position, the prime minister not necessarily having a portfolio.
Correct. And now what else do you do? The person who is most vocal in your flock, Dr. Andre Rollins, you assign him only a portion of the pie chart to deal with. In other words, mind your own business. Don't be looking at the whole pie. You just mind your slice. This is a power play, and it is a very, very wise move. And I say, my God, I got to give him a little kudos for that. It's a good move. I say I like the move. It's a good move. And keep the team together. You are a Michael Jordan.
Andre Rollins is the Shadow Minister for Foreign Affairs and Ministry of Energy, Utilities, and Aviation.
Okay, so that's Fred Mitchell.
Fred Mitchell.
And Joe Colby. You got 2 big guns you got to watch. And stay busy and be busy with them. Stay out of the other shadow ministers' business. In other words, now I can focus on leadership only and managing all the tentacles of our party. Michael Pintard is showing every intention to remain as the leader of the Free National Movement. Fight me.
I don't see it like that.
You don't have to. You can fight me.
I don't see this like this.
Go ahead and fight me.
I see this as a lazy approach to leadership. I also see it as the necessity for being able to put people, just for the purposes of social perception, that's it. This is only for social perception. When we identify these things, we can see, me, Howard Grant, I can see that there wasn't much effort into this. I also see, not as you have put it, where there's a duplication from Michael Pintock to be able to mask or mimic what our Prime Minister is doing in terms of not taking on portfolio. I think that he wants to be able to ensure that he's freed up, that after the post-mortem, if they make a decision, that he could be able to genuflect, bow out, say thank you so much, and keep moving. I think that that is what I'm seeing here. I also believe that he has packed the bag for Dwayne Sands and Shannon Cartwright. I know y'all don't like me to talk like this, but I don't see things like how...
I can say this, Howard.
I just don't see it like that.
You don't have to.
53 years coming up as the Bahamas is celebrating our independence, right? We're looking at the Bahamas as a whole, and we're seeing a third party emerge when a former leader would have made mention that there will be no such thing as a third party within our country. We are seeing a third party had 17,000 persons go to the poll and vote for them. We're looking at the country itself, and my question I'm asking you now, Howard and Garth, is this a message to the Bahamian people are saying to whomever in charge, we're looking for a government that we can believe in again. We want to believe. We want to believe what you say to me. I want to believe that prosperity is on the rise. I want to believe that everything that you have put in your mandate, that it will come to pass. We hear all of the circumstances in regards to, you're saying that the hospitals are in a displace. We're seeing the energy situation going on. And the people are asking these questions because they said, okay, we want an opportunity now to say that we're going to carve a little space that is our space. This is what they say. We want to believe again.
For me...
Can the F&M make them believe again?
For me, Hubert Alexander Ingram has set the bar so high for the organization, in the organization, that there was a specific caliber of person that can get through the door. Not any and every, there were people for years asking Hubert Ingram for an opportunity to run.
Okay.
And he said, yeah,
no.
You're good right where you are. That was the language that they used. I wouldn't call people name on the people TV, but you know I know these people business, not in a bad way. Let's just be very clear.
You think that's the only party that does that?
I know, but nowhere else. I only know what the people tell me, the horse mouth. This wasn't a fly or horse mouth.
All the parties.
This was the horse mouth that said to me.
Okay, let me fix it then. Hold on, man. It's your show, but let me ask you a question then.
Okay, go ahead.
Wasn't Hubert Alexander Ingram a part of the Progressive Labour Party?
Of course he was.
Wasn't he under the shadow of Celine and Oscar Pinlin?
Of course he was.
So where the hell do you think he learned that from?
Okay, but that ain't my point. My point to you is that persons were staved off and kept in a specific position for a very long time.
Okay, I got you.
That's all I say.
There was a famine. They
the
were held up.
organization had such a high bar. For you to be able to get through that, you knew you had to go to school, you had 6 PhD, you had to have articulate, you had to be well-rounded and under the leadership to be able to get an opportunity to shine at the forefront. It was a proud moment to be identified by the Free National Movement. Okay? I am saying to you, now that bar has been eroded, eradicated, swept up, and done away with entirely.
How you figure that?
What you mean, how you figure that?
You're trying to mean people who ran in the last election, like, they learned people thought that...
We're not dismissing those particular persons who would have elevated by themselves.
Okay.
The organization has not, and we're not just talking about frontline persons, we're talking about the collective who move behind the shadows, behind the curtains that move the organization. These are not the same caliber of persons. Now, we're not insulting these particular persons, but they are not going to the level of scrutiny that existed before. What I'm seeing here is smoke and mirrors and a lack of vision. You're going to fight me, and they can fight me, and it's okay.
Yeah.
This is smoke and mirrors and a lack of vision. The only thing that the Free National Movement should be doing at this time is being able to break down to build back up. Your transmission gone. You then have to figure out the diagnostics. You got to break this thing down, take your time out, put everything in place, and bring it back together again so you can see movement. This sort of let's try this, let's try this, let's try this, is smoke and mirrors to keep yourself active in the minds of the people, but not necessarily being being able to see mobility in the organization. This stagnation will happen if you don't get yourself prepared to move where you're supposed to move.
The truth of the matter, God, is we've been witnessing a big party present itself to the Bahamian people once again under different leadership, a major party.
Yeah, new leadership, yeah.
New leadership. We call it new leadership because the things that we were seeing taking place in the Free National Movement, it was not, it didn't even resemble in no form and no fashion the FNM that the Bahamas once knew.
No.
It wasn't.
And no, see,
it just wasn't.
Don't skip over what you're saying.
No, I'm saying it just wasn't.
They just have to resonate. This FNM, this last dispensation of members, even though they brought some persons back, did not reflect in no semblance, in no way, in the memory of those who are familiar with the organization, infatuated with the organization, supported the organization. This reflected in no way an organization that they supported in years past.
Think about this, Howard. We have seen, we know the nature of the FNM in regards to things that prior that we would have witnessed them do. We're looking at the COI and say that financially we can say that the COI was not a financial party, hypothetically speaking, right?
I like where you're going.
We can say that, right?
I like it. I like it.
We can look at the COI and say that, well, the COI didn't do as much groundwork, door to door, man to man, woman to woman, child to child. You can say that. You can see that, right? They didn't do that. You agree?
I'm listening, yeah.
Okay.
I'm going with you.
This particular crew of persons created a space that they call what we now look on Facebook and say is alive.
Okay.
We're seeing the people charm into alive. Whether it's before we just want to see what the person's going to be saying or whatever gossip is going to run. The reality of it is that you had candidates who actually ran in those positions and got some 600 votes. 600 Bahamians come out and vote for you? If 600 Bahamians come out and vote for you without you going on the ground, without you petitioning, without you doing all, it sends a message.
There's a couple of things that happen here. The COI needed more science. Okay, that's it. Lincoln Bean, had the science down pat in terms of how to be able to attract people. But his members needed more science in terms of how to approach them, how to be able to collect the data, the information, how to be able to collect their position. That may have taken finances, it may have taken time. Whatever it took, they didn't have that, they didn't have the time. They worked at it, they just didn't have it yet. If they remain consistent, I said this to you, Garth, in 2017, they was able to get 300, right? In 2021, let's take Lincoln Bain. In 2017, he was able to get 300 votes in his constituency in Pinewood. In 2021, he was able to get 600 votes, which is double the number of votes that he would have gotten. In 2026, he got double the amount of votes that he got in 1,200. I told you that. So in the event that he stays steadfast, he stays committed, he continues to grow, you would be able to see him win that in the next go-round. I guarantee you. Because he's able to double it, duplicate it by 100% every single time he goes back in the constituency of Pinewood. So he will be able to double that. However, that needs to be duplicated throughout the length and breadth of the organization. It can't be hoarded by one man. It needs to be to spread out throughout the organization. And how do you do that? You have to train them, you have to teach them, you have to show them, and you have to make them to understand these particular things. The COI has the capability of doing a great deal, even though some people call it a coalition of idiots. These idiots, quote unquote,
want some
was
spaces.
able to do miraculous deeds in this country. I might as well tell you the truth. These quote-unquote idiots were able to do what the established
some conversation.
I gotta take a quick break. Quick break, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna be right back after this. Right.
Here are a few things that you can add to your hurricane kit to give it a much-needed upgrade. Portable power banks, solar chargers, solar-powered radios, and similar items. While you're at it, make sure you're stocked up on the regulars, battery-operated radio and flashlight, additional batteries, a comprehensive first aid kit, along with 2 weeks of medication. Be sure to add life vests for family members and a toolkit. There should be 1 gallon of water per day for each member of your family and non-perishable food. Be sure to secure important documents like banking and insurance information and government-issued identification. And pay close attention to the ZNS network for all your weather updates. If this seems like a lot, think of it as survival through preparation. This season, be weather smart, weather safe.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. This is The Rundown. I'm Howard Grant. Grateful to be in your company. Always grateful to jam with you. I'm here with none other than Ian Munnings and Garth Maynard Roseborough being able to jam with us and have a good conversation. We're talking now. When we left off, I said to you, for the amount of persons that continue to be able to take the acronym COI and be able to manipulate it as you desire, calling the organization, I thought that it was absolutely unparliamentary, especially after we would have seen Hiram Lewis step into a particular position to be able to call the COI Coalition of Idiots. I thought they would at least drop the idiot after there was some formality in Hiram Lewis being able to step over that. That didn't happen. The Coalition of Idiots, quote unquote, based upon what you say, did better than the established. The organization that is formidable, the organization that has had victory, that understands, that was able to pull it close to its bosom. The organization that has been able to do all this in this country and continue to be able to champion certain causes and ideas in this particular country, you did not do as well as you thought you would have done, and you have been one step behind, maybe even two, behind the COI from the established position. You don't want to hear this, and it's a difficult thing to hear. Even now, this would have been almost a year and some after the coalition would have identified their shadow ministers and talked to us when it was over in Fusion long time. You are now doing that. This is an amazing thing that we're seeing. That the Free National Movement, an established organization, has been able to take their time and walk steps behind who you all identify as a coalition of idiots. What does that say? Talk to me, Ian.
I can tell you this, Howard. Looking at the position of Lincoln Bain and his personnel around him, we've seen him evolve. I call the word evolve. He's evolved from 300 to 600 to now over 1,200. We are seeing persons like Maria Daxon in Bamboo Town. Some 700 persons came and voted for her. She didn't go door to door. Her presence was felt on a cell phone. They looked at her and they compare her to say that she is the barking dog. She is the one who is going to sound the alarm for the COI. And so persons gravitated to them, stating that what they promised. They say that these are the conditions that the people are feeling. These are the things that are taking place within our country. And given the opportunity, they would do something great. And the fact that they would have had hundreds of Bahamians, thousands of Bahamians, to go to the polls and say, you know what? We've been doing the same thing over and over. We want a different response. And so we're going to go with the COI because we want an opportunity to do what they say they're going to do. What do we have to lose? This is what took place during that era. So we're looking now at the government that is current, and we're saying progress is here. We're looking at the Free National Movement, and they're still trying to find their footing. The only thing I see that they are continuously preaching on is who is member number one. Politician number one. This is what they're saying. They're not bringing the things that the Bahamian people would like for them to bring forward. If we have a health crisis, we want you to say we have a health crisis. If we have a problem with electricity, we want you to say we have a problem with electricity. We want you to be able to come to the Bahamian public and say, hey, this is what you're experiencing, this is what we're saying, and this is what we ought to do.
I don't think
we haven't seen it. We have not seen it during the whole period of Michael Pintard's campaign. I think we saw more Mr. Michael C. Pintard representing himself to say that I'm a family man, I'm a father, this is my mother. We have seen that, but we haven't seen all of those other things.
After 2027, October, whenever they decide to be able to do their next convention. I believe that whoever is the person that's going to be identified for leadership, he or she has their hands full, and they must kind of hurry up, and try to be able to mend those bridges, those ills, those wounds, those gaps that has been left behind by this kind of a tunnel vision to be able to eradicate Dr. Hubert Alexander Minnis. It seems like the organization has been steadfast on being able to do that. Now that Minnis is gone, now that he's off the scene, it's like, okay, what do we do next? Without being able to focus on the fact that we have a responsibility to the Bahamian people and being able to cast the vision and take steady steps and approaches to being able to present that and make it a reality. We don't see that in the organization. We don't see that. And that's a difficult thing to be able to have a conversation about. As we look now and we start to talk about these particular things, and we're talking about the COI, look how we've given so much prominence to the COI, an organization that we've dismissed. An organization that across social media, persons who are savvy from a political standpoint has said they will get no seats. They have done tremendous. And they have planted a seed in the minds and hearts of the Bahamian people. I am a firm believer, especially as a former member of the organization, I am a firm believer that if the DNA had stuck with it, they would have been able to enjoy this level of success in due time and due season. Though they did good in one particular season and they didn't do as well as they should have done when it came to the next season, they weren't pushing, they weren't serious, they weren't focused, they weren't committed, they weren't at the forefront. Man, Lincoln Bain was in our face every time he had a chance.
I like when it goes.
Okay. Okay, so this is what I'm hearing. You spoke about the caliber of the Free National Movement in this past election as not being which you are
unfamiliar.
accustomed. Okay,
it's unfamiliar.
Okay, good. The caliber of the COI would also be unfamiliar.
It's budding.
Okay, it's budding. You say, oh,
I'm better than you think I am, you know, sir.
No, I'm getting somewhere. The Free National Movement lacked science in this last election.
No, they've rejected science.
Oh, they rejected science.
Because they had it before.
We're getting there, we're getting there.
Let's get somewhere.
But the COI
but they had it before under different leadership.
They have not acquired it.
The COI has not acquired science.
No.
So,
political science in terms of application to understand how to be able to execute accordingly.
So unfamiliar and budding, right? Rejecting science and what?
They haven't acquired.
Not acquiring science.
Yeah, they haven't acquired it just yet.
So what it boils down to, if I listen to you without going any further, is leadership.
Lack of experience.
Because the COI wasn't evident to me in terms of candidates for the entire time. Many of the candidates, I can't tell you. I can't tell you.
And we thought they would do good. You can't deny that Dr. MacGyver.
We know her.
Of course.
We know Lincoln.
Okay.
We know Maria Doxson.
Okay.
Many of the others, we don't know them.
Okay. We know.
Who's we? You keep calling us we. We don't know them.
No, Graham Weatherford.
Yeah, everybody knows.
Okay,
Graham.
we know Graham. Go ahead then. You win that one. Go keep going. Let me hear this. Since you're so smart.
You know Charlotte too, right?
Charlotte Green.
Yeah, okay, keep going. I want 10. You see, I want 12 disciples when I get them. Give me 12. No, oh, you can't. Okay, you can't. Okay, oh, you can't.
Michael.
When it came to the Free National Movement.
I think I saw something on social media when she did the Buster rap, and that appealed to me when she did that.
I just say it's hard to find 12 disciples. Imagine what Jesus had to go through walking by the Sea of Galilee. He said, I need 12. And that's what he said. The FNM, many of us can't name 12 of them either. We know like Brian Brown, that's my cousin. Hold on, I just say it.
Name all.
That's you. I think we. Now it's we. You know you. Okay. Now it's we. We don't know them. So when it came down to the decision making, it was a style of leadership where Lincoln Bain cast himself as an individual who was fighting for the small man.
He will play it.
And many people felt like, you know what? He's speaking to us. Me. I with him because he for me. That's it. Michael C. Pendard
his demographic.
Michael C. Pendard was like, you know what? The aristocratic FNM that we are going to have.
No.
Okay.
No.
Fix it then. Let me hear this.
No.
What happened?
The Free National Movement actually appealed and appeased to that aristocrat caliber of individuals.
But that's what I just said.
They teetered on the edge.
That's what I said.
They became unfamiliar to those particular persons, and no one knew where to place them, even right now.
That's what I'm saying.
But the masses, the people in the grassroots.
Adrian.
But this what I saying.
The masses is the grassroots.
Though Adrian would have found himself victorious in the constituency of St. Anne's,
that don't count.
The people, let me
that
say,
don't count.
But you're going to fight me.
I can fight you, but that don't count.
No, but let me say it.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
The people in the constituency said his actions were unfamiliar and they weren't statesman-like as they were used to from those particular persons. They still voted for him.
Okay.
But they said that this was unfamiliar.
Well, it doesn't matter if it's unfamiliar if they voted for you.
I am simply saying to you, you indicated that this was aristocrats and they were continuing to be able to...
No, I said the aristocratic leadership of Michael C. Pinton, meaning that he had no familiarity with the common man. And what the Progressive Liberal Party did was they wooed the common man who wasn't angry as those who followed Lincoln made and say, you know what, let's party, let's have a good time. Listen, we got food, we got drinks, we got chicken, we got pork. Listen, you want to fly with us over to Grand Bahama, you want to fly with us to Long Island? Come go with us, man. We talking about contracts, we talking about jobs, we talking about future, we talking about AI, we talking about Sabas, we talking about go down over there on Farrington Road, see what he's doing. Don't you see progress is on its way? My God, it's going to bust loose in a minute. This is the talk of the Progressive Liberal Party.
May 12th
the Free National Movement was like, in my eyes, where's the money? We need some money. We need to find
They lacked that. They saw that.
We could see that they was broke.
They lacked that.
Lincoln Bain was broke, but Lincoln Bain had message. Lincoln Bain had tenacity. Lincoln Bain had consistency. Lincoln Bain didn't sleep. Every Sunday, 5 o'clock, he on the air.
Alive. You got alive.
They forgot their creativity.
They never had none. They never had that. No, that's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie.
Okay.
They never had none.
The PLP got in.
They were creative.
The PLP got in from creativity.
Yes, sir. Lincoln Bain.
Money over the years.
Okay, man. Talk to me.
Okay?
You're talking.
So when the Free National Movement came in, they came in with money.
Yeah, that's all they needed at that time.
They came in with money.
Yeah.
They do not know how to perform without the support of financial endowment. That's what you're saying to me.
Yes, sir. You want me to come off the set and preach it outside and come back in?
The question. So you're saying to me, because they did not have the financial backing, they did not know how to perform at all.
Okay, let me break it down. I don't want to get the Bahamas in trouble.
That's what you're saying.
That's what you're saying. That's what I saw.
That's what we saw.
So watch what I said.
We saw that.
We going into year 53, yes?
Yes, 53 years.
When we looked at the 80s when I was in high school.
But this is a part of our resilience, sir.
Let me tell you what I saw. As a young man in school, in grade 8 and 9. The girls in my class, as fine as hell, class 86, we just had a little celebration this weekend, they don't pay no attention to us. The fellas was riding Ninja motorbike, 600,
300 ZX.
Kawasaki 1000,
Mustang.
300 ZX,
and Bronco.
Mustang, Bronco, the whole 9 yards, Corvette, Laurel, Cedric, all these things they riding nice. Big gold chain like Mr. T, 10,000 gold chain around their neck. They ain't paying no attention to us, man. Yeah. I talking with Jesus and the soon coming, and they talking about they like the fellow over there.
Because they saw progress.
If you ain't wear those Lee jeans and them type of things, you wasn't saying nothing. You had to wear Clark shoe, diamond socks.
The young ladies advanced quicker than the young men.
This man from Freeport,
and they saw prosperity.
You get me excited now. This man from Freeport, he know with style. Listen to me. This is a Cadillac man, by the way, if you want me to tell you that. What I'm saying is that by the time 1992 rolled around, for those who did not have that luxury to have those things, the satellite dish bigger than your house, they say, you know what? This party came out in 1992 with what?
Money.
Oh,
full backing.
Access.
Full backing.
Access. That's all they simply said, Howard Grant. If you don't have the access, you need what? Creativity.
Yeah, you're plenty creativity.
That's all they saying to you. Free National Movement was birthed with access, not creativity.
And so when they snatched the access, we saw
crumbling.
We saw that kind of a crumbling. We saw the crumbling of the organization.
Now you just define it scientifically.
So that's just what it is. I want to thank you guys for being able to tune in with us. That's the show, man.
Are you ready?
No. That ain't the show. One more. We got one more segment. I want to thank you guys for being able to do this. I think we've talked about the Free National Movement as long as we can, eh?
Please.
But I want to talk about the increase.
Okay.
That's what I want to talk about when we come back. Right.
Let me take this quick break. When we get back, we can talk about the increase, and then we can be able to be out of here. Quick break, guys. Going to be right back after this.
But of course you are. But be sure to tune in every weekday at 7:30 p.m. for the Bahamas Tonight Access Now,
where we bring you the brighter side of news.
Join us for the Bahamas Tonight
Access Now, weeknights at 7:30 p.m.
Yo, it's Iman, the one and only, and I want y'all to tune into Entertainment Fridays on Access Now every Friday at 7:30 p.m. Who knows? Your favorite Bahamian artist might end up showing their face. But you gotta watch to find out.
Behind every strong economy is a bold entrepreneur, and we're here to support them, island by island. On Long Island, we've helped 77 entrepreneurs turn their dreams into thriving businesses. Through over $1.9 million in approved funding, the SPDC is strengthening Long Island's economy by investing in its leading sectors: fishing, transportation, and agriculture. No matter the island, every business we support strengthens the economy, starting with yours. SPDC, Bahamas.
Thanks so much for staying with us, guys. This is The Rundown. I'm Howard Grant, grateful to be with you. Always happy to be able to jam with you. Beautiful Wednesday roundtable conversation, having a good conversation with my good friend Ian, and Garth is here just being able to talk me tired about the Free National Movement and its inception. But I think for the very first time, there has been, in my eyes, a silver lining for the confusion that I believe that we've witnessed, all of us who are observers from a political standpoint, from this sort of a distant and this kind of despondent organization that we would have seen over the past some 6 years and some, I think we could be able to surmise what that is. What we've come to the conclusion for this evening is that it is as a result of lack of funds, because they've always had the backing. And when there's no backing, the creativity is distant. That doesn't necessarily happen with everyone else. We've seen creativity kick in significantly when the PLP's back is against the wall. The COI has shown us their creativity when their back was against the wall. Other fringe organizations have come in and been creative in all aspects because their backs was against the wall. They knew that they did not have the finances. But the Free National Movement, for somehow, froze up. Talk to me about that, and let's go on to the second segment.
Well, the most creative.
Well, let me tell you what happens when you're having a battle of the finances. When you cannot find creativity, you know you need the money, you cannot find the money, you look at the opponent, and you wonder how the hell they get that money. So there's one word that surfaces every time.
Corruption.
Oh, Jesus, man, Howard is a smart host.
Corruption.
Well, I train you what school you went to, because you're smart.
You train me.
This is how that works.
Corruption.
And you'll hear corruption.
That's what they've been,
the outcry.
Screaming corruption.
Okay.
And they've been alleging corruption. And when the former leadership indicate that, listen, watch out, no one can steal this, they came back, undermined his position, and said, this is corruption. They've gone in the House of Assembly and insinuated relentlessly that there is something afoot here, this must be corruption. I was absolutely exhausted today, because anyone who ever run a campaign know you got to pay for the SDs, you got to put gas in people's car, you got to pay for phone card because you need communication, you need this, you need the tents, you got to pay for that. Somebody need to eat breakfast, lunch, you got to pay for ice, you got to pay for these particular things. You need to put some money in the people. $30,000 ain't never been no money, not in this country, never.
Can't do it.
And you keep running after this allegation and speculation about this. I told the people I walked major campaigns before, and $30,000 ain't never been no money. But today, you can plant a seed in the Bahamian people's head, distract from the progression and growth of the country, simply so you can be identified in the limelight to give us this kind of... Anyway, it's an exhausting experience. Gentlemen, say what you got to say. I can't deal with this.
I opened the door.
Truth of the matter is this, is that the Bahamian people are looking for an opportunity. They're looking for a space that they can call their own.
I spent more than $30,000, what I did not have with the DNA.
Well, before we...
In politics, $30,000 isn't any money.
Well, before we wrap up...
There's a lot of...
No campaign finance reform, no freedom of information.
There is a lot of things that go along with that political arena. You have to think about persons that calling you for various different reasons. There's a lot of things that goes on.
Well, gentlemen, I want to thank you all so very kindly for being able to be here with me tonight. The show ran very quickly. You got me hype at the end, and I didn't say these things, but it's very important that we understand many persons just walk into the booth and put an X. But there's a great deal of us, especially those men that continue to talk, that understand the inner workings of what campaigns require. And I don't see nothing afoot here. And I feel like I'm leaning with the chairman of the organization, Fred Mitchell, by being able to say that this just may be
a nothing burger.
A nothing burger. And that does it for us here at The Rundown, guys. Be sure that you stay locked into ZNS Network for the Bahamas tonight at 11 p.m. is the final newscast of the country with the latest in news and information from Corvell Pyfrom. From all of us here at ZNS, I'm Howard Grant. Thanks so much for joining us.
We play just like your kids. We text just like your kids. We learn. We even cook. We take selfies.